Okay. Update required. What the? What is this? What is this supposed to be? Day 3. Huh. Okay. 54. Wait, Prestige 9? He's still only on Prestige 9? God damn, he sucks. No, don't play that, don't play that.
What it do? We are back with another YouTube video today. Today's video, I'm not really sure what the hell is going to be going on. It's currently like 4 p.m. on Friday. I just kind of wrapped up majority of my beat work for the day. We've been working since early this morning. I had a couple meetings today. I did some client work, we did a whole bunch of little kind of random miscellaneous work this morning. I called BRT as well. Productive ass morning. And before I headed out of the crib, kind of, I guess not for the day, but for the next little bit, I decided, you know what, let's start the vlog now. Let's pick up the camera. I wasn't going to until tomorrow, but I decided today would probably be a good day to start the vlog. So right now, what I'm about to do, like I said, it's around 4 p.m. Go pick me up. We're head to the Design District, and we're going to do a little shopping. My little Chrome Hearts plug hit me up. They've got a new Drake Chrome Hearts hoodie, so I'm gonna go buy that shit. And Pierre also needs to go to the store and he needs to go shopping as well. So that's exactly what we are going to go and do, I guess. I think later tonight I'm gonna go and hit the gym, bring you guys with for that. And then tomorrow, I also don't want to say too much, but I think we have some shit planned that would be entertaining for you guys tomorrow. You guys always see by the intro what goes on in the vlog. You watch the intro. I never know what the fuck is going on whenever I pick up the camera and start a vlog, what's going to be happening within the vlog, because my life is very sporadic as an entrepreneur, and I never know what I'm going to be doing an hour later from right now. So, honestly, I just pick up the camera and go with the fucking flow. Whatever happens, happens. And in this video, I don't even know exactly what's going to be happening, but it's definitely going to be entertaining. I know there's going to be some stuff going on. It's going to be a fucking banger video, so watch the whole thing. But without further ado, this intro is getting to be a little long. I'm yapping a little too much. Let's go pick Pierre up. Let's go to the mall. Here's the bit for the day. We got some Louis Vuitton. Looks like someone wants to
Give me mod now. TJ TV Fish Stick? Who's this? You don't run the show, I run the show. TV Fish Stick. Interesting.
Studio flannel. Hopefully you all can see that. I don't know. Chrome Hearts hat, but Chrome Hearts chain and party skeleton. Back to what I was saying.
Oh, it's Blazy fan.
Really ever knowing
That's
what's
just
going on
great.
in my videos when I pick up the camera.
Just great.
The truth. I just pick the fucking camera up and show my day-to-day life. Y'all know I like to keep it raw. I like to keep it authentic, and I like to keep it fucking real. I mean, that's the way I make keep making these videos. Raw, authentic, and real. I'm here to show you guys the reality of what it's like to be Bread Scales, what it's like to be a 7-figure entrepreneur, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And we show you guys the raw reality. Here's how we're looking outside today. Beautiful day. It is a little cold out.
Yeah, no problem.
Like standing in pants and a flannel, I'm kind of a little chilly right now. I'm also hella high up, like very, very high up, so it's windy up here and it's cold up here. But it's a pretty nice day out. The sun's out, so let's go enjoy it. Ignore how fucking dirty this thing is. This thing has barely been on the channel in the last like month or so, bro. Not even month. I guess like 2-3 weeks since we moved to Arizona or moved to Miami from Arizona. I haven't really been driving my car all that much, but it's door open.
Yeah, I know you're a Blasey fan. You said that.
My car all that much since moving. Really not walk pretty much everywhere you need to go. Unless you're going to like the mall or I'm going to the gym. So recently, since I've started getting back in my gym routine, I've been driving to the gym. But other than that, I literally don't even like hardly drive this thing. I'm excited to get the Aventador back though. I actually got an update on that today. I think like middle of April, all of the parts that were supposed to come in, then boom, they just put it all together really quick, and then we should have the Aventador back like in May. So they'll get it all fixed and then ship it out here to Miami. And I cannot wait to have that thing back and get to terrorize that through Miami. We're still not fucking far along from ship there. So.
Shut up!
Miami, bro. Bro, driving in a big city, it's so much different because like when you do a pull, it's like condensed, so the noise of the exhaust is like condensed and it makes it sound way louder. So driving in a big city just hits way different, bro. Like doing a pull down a street in a big city, although Miami, the traffic is fucked here, so rarely do you ever get to do a pull like that, but hey bro. Yeah, bro. You put that in the door, bro. Thanks, bro. Hey, meet you, bro. Oh, shit. We got another picture. Alright. Oh, just of me? Oh, type shit. Photographer. Yo, man. Good. Can I get the, I think it's the summer chicken bowl? Just take on a hit. Bro, get these. Bro, I got a pair the other day. They're so fire. I don't need any more. Alright, bye. Free. Probably like $80. So free. $80. That's. They're 68. Okay, that's hella free. Small? What size do you get? I got one. Fantastic. Yeah. Y'all need the one? Yeah. My turn. Nice to meet you, bro. Yes, sir. Good to meet you, bro. Appreciate you watching. Pick some shit up from Ala. I just got a little pair of sweats. They got like hella nice comfy clothes, bro. Or like workout clothes, shit like that. Would you get? Two shorts. Two shorts. Little chrome hoodie from the chrome plug. We should get that, bro. Yeah. Fucking jacket, bro. That's hard. What's that? Rude? Yeah. This is true. That is pretty true. Alright, boys. Trying on this little Valencia shirt. This shit is hard. I don't know. Kind of fits like a little weird in the back. Like big ass shoulders. I don't know. It's hard. We ended up picking that up. I also got this Drake. And
Shut up!
Tough as fuck. So I'll show y'all when we get back to the crib, but a couple decent pickups on the day. This is our first gas fill up since moving to Miami. I've had my car here for like a week and a half now, I think, and I have not filled it up yet. That's how little I drive here. We're all good. Huh? What? I don't know. See you in 30 minutes, bro. So let's show you guys the pickups we got from the moms. First, they actually texted me ahead of time as soon as they got this in. Asked me if I wanted it. Got the chrome plug, bro. This is a Drake and Chrome Hearts collab. Super cool hoodie. I paid 1.1 for this, and like I looked it up online. The only one that I could find was for like 2.5. So I got a really good deal on this. Then we got that Balenciaga shirt that I showed you guys in the fitting room. That was only like $250. So that was a pretty cool pickup too. And then we just got some Palo sweatpants. I really been putting the Palo with not crazy priced, super comfortable. They make really like cute clothes and just like comfy clothes and stuff too. But now I think we're about to head to this little like event type of thing. I don't even know what it is. We're gonna just go. I'm gonna bring you guys with. We're just gonna see what the vibes are. Apparently it's like some like networking, like social event. I don't know. We're gonna go see. We'll see what the vibes of that are, and then we'll see what else we get into for the evening. All right, boys. I decided to put this hoodie on. It's a little chilly outside, and I also just wear my so we put this on. This is actually fire. But we're about to go to this little. I don't know what you call this. I always said that. Let me stop you out. There's Pierre. Alright, boys. You know, I just realized today, the other day, I tweeted this shit. If y'all don't know who, if y'all are on Twitter, you probably know who that is. You don't. But I tweeted this the other day. Every time I buy a Chrome Hearts hoodie, I have to invest now $100K into my investment account. I'm just now realizing that I bought a Chrome Hearts hoodie today. I have to put another $100K into my investment account. So, with that being said, deposit from boom to investment. Every Chrome Hearts hoodie is another honey bun into the investment account. Where are we, bro? Where are we, bro? Alright, boys. We pulled up to this spot. I don't really know what it is, but I got 2 free drink tickets, so this boy got no free drink tickets. Oh, shit. What? Pulled it out. Okay. This boy got no free drink tickets. Oh, shit. What? Pulled it out. Okay. Yeah. More free cake? Yeah. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Bro, they gave us like, why so much cake, bro? Bro, just got like, they just spawned 15 free drink tickets, bro. Yeah, what the fuck? Alright, boys. Where are we headed?
Long steak and fries?
We're down for cans and hot dog. Nah, let's go somewhere sit down, bro.
I didn't know they have canes.
Not cane.
Yo,
Bro, what does that even say?
Really,
bro? Whoa. These lights are like tweaking out my camera, bro. What the fuck? It does not look like that IRL. I don't know why it's like flashing on the camera shutter speed, but I don't know shit about cameras, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how to fix that. We made it downtown Brickell now. As you can see, very beautiful view. We're about to get a little food. We're just trying to get for the vibes right now, bro. Not sure what else we're getting into right now. The move for the moment is food, though.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah, I got you.
I'll squeeze maximum pain from whatever you
You're good. Just right here, just hold down.
Hold this. We got too many things to do.
Appreciate it.
Hey, back. Perfect. Alright, then. Thank you. What's that? Hell yeah. Wait. This is similar to this camera, no?
Yeah, it is.
I think I'm at a custom on the car.
No, these are good.
They're good?
Yeah. I really appreciate it, John.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah, bro. Well, good to meet you. I appreciate you watching, bro. Nice to meet you. Hi. Say what's up to the dog. What's up to you? Yeah.
What I'm gonna say, brother.
Yeah. We got some steak, boys. I forgot to vlog, but
This boy right here, legendary character.
legendary.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Welcome to family.
Yeah.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
We just played cards with Lat.
Welcome to our fancy restaurant.
How much was it?
Like 450.
Thanks for the dinner, gang. Yo,
Hey,
Bro, I haven't been to your crib. Motherfucker lost. I don't know why I didn't pick up the camera, but we just played cards with Lat. This motherfucker lost. How much was it?
like 450.
thanks for the dinner, gang. Yo,
Hey,
Bro, I haven't been to your crib in like
Population
days. Fuck no, long time, bro. It's been like a week.
never
I've
been
been
so
here.
glad to see backup arrive.
Hey, elevator dance,
Lucky
bro.
I'm still in one piece. I need you to look for survivors. So do any threats. Help me save this
Nah,
town.
you get it, get it. We, bro. Bro, there's hella cool cars, bro. There's not a fucking purple Huracan with gold rims. Oh shit. Nah, this shit's hard as fuck, bro. This is fucking Miami for you. Urus S, wide body, fucking Ferrari, whatever that even is, I can't tell. SF90? Rolls Royce stolen in. Fucking Huracan just drove by. And just like that, it is 1 a.m. We are back to the crib, and it is time to go to bed, bro. Looks like tomorrow we got a little bit of a busy day ahead of us. Tomorrow, Saturday. I mean, today is Friday, but tomorrow's Saturday. We got a little boat day planned. I feel like every fucking video I've been on a boat so far in Miami, but I love being on the water, bro. There's no complaints ever when I'm out on the water. It's just straight vibes. I could be on the water every day of my life and not complain. So tomorrow we got a little boat day planned with a special guest. Y'all are gonna fuck with that. So tomorrow, wake up, get some work done, and then see what else we get into tomorrow evening. But without further ado, boys, good first day of the vlog so far. Now we'll catch you boys in the there.
Cause I'm in love with you tonight. And it's you when I wake up. Girl, do you feel out? Baby, give me some love. Come give me somebody life. Come give me somebody life. Cause it's on. Turn off the radio.
Alright, good morning, boys. It is, well, not good morning, good afternoon, actually. I didn't really pick up the camera at all this morning just because I woke up a little bit late. Really wanted to focus in on work so that I could get my shit done before we go out and go on this boat. I'm also going to bring my laptop so that I can work from the boat. I don't know why I keep seeing people all over TikTok hating on Miami, bro. Like, I get Miami has its pros and cons, but all of a sudden, like, every big influencer is just starting to shit on the city on TikTok. I've seen it, like, all over. This is a really good city, bro. There's good people out here. There's also a lot of bad people out here. So me personally, I just keep my circle tight. Y'all know that. Just surround myself with good people. It's good vibes. Like, look at the water, look at the city, look at the palm trees. It's good ass vibes out here. There's a lot to do when you want to go do stuff, but majority of the time, I'm just chilling in my apartment by myself, either working or literally just like, chilling by myself with an amazing view. So I really can't complain. I love it here personally. I haven't gotten to do like too much out here yet, or experience too much. So maybe the vets know better than me. So far, my experience in Miami is good. The majority of my experience also has been just being in the crib and just working and chilling. We got a little salmon bowl here though. This looks absolutely fire at DoorDash. This, I really need to get groceries, bro, because I've been cooking like 2 meals a day every single day. But now as soon as I pick up the camera, it's like I'm just fucking eating out of DoorDash because I ran out of groceries. I guess I went grocery shopping in my last week, but I'll get groceries right now. So I'm about to heat this up, and then we're about to go meet up with some homies to go on it. Oh, I meant to order the chicken bowl, but I accidentally got salmon. It's actually pretty good though. I'm messing with it. And then we got some salad and sweet potatoes. But I don't know what it is. I recently discovered that I fucking love sweet potatoes. So I could eat sweet potatoes for every meal. I don't know what it is. They're just so good. Alright, boys. We had to bag some cigars real quick for the boat, for the vibes. I thought it was going to be cold out today. It's not cold out. It's actually really nice out. It's a little cool, but definitely wouldn't say that it's cold, which is good. Get a nice tan on today. We Made it on the yacht. Stopped. Waiting for the bridge. This is a big ass yacht, bro. Holy shit. Let's come up to the front here. Your boy was getting some work done on the yacht. We low-key been on here for an hour. Probably at least an hour. And I haven't picked up the camera yet until now. I was just sitting on my computer getting a little work.
Watch your
Now,
six. There's gotta be
time to
one
have a
more
little
hit.
fun. Oh, this is a lot more than 2 hours. This boat? Yeah. This is for sure more than 2 hours.
I almost fired 800 grams last week. This boat just
Travis, this is a 4-person boat.
I can't afford this boat, so I'm poor. I'm poor. Man, this is for sure more than 2 hours. I almost fired 800 grams last week.
This boat just Travis, this is a 4-person boat.
I can't afford this boat, so I'm poor. I'm poor.
Yeah. Okay, this is old. How old? How old do you think this boat is? 20 years. Yeah, this boat is old. You need a more. I would rather have a smaller boat, but for my I can't afford a boat, bro.
Richest guys I know.
No.
This big dog.
No, I can't afford a boat, bro. I cannot afford a boat. No.
What car do you have now?
The Aventador is in the shop, and
I'm poor. I have an event store.
the Aventador and the M3. What do you?
I have Performante, Urus, and I have my beater, a Tesla. I'm sorry I don't have the Bugatti. I know I'm poor. I'm sorry I don't have the Bugatti. I know I'm poor.
We got motherfuckers on jet skis, bro. Oh shit. Alright, Alex. As someone who's built a really big personal brand.
Yeah.
How many followers on Instagram?
They were 2.6.
Okay. What would you say is the number one key to building a personal brand? Because I feel like there's a lot of people watching this that are trying to build a personal brand or at some point want to. What would you say is the number one key?
One is to not try and copy what someone else is doing and think that you're going to do it. You have to be authentic. That shows in your content. The more passionate you are about something, the more authentic you are. That will over time show through the camera, and that's going to help you kind of like relate to more people, right? Like, so if you find like, for example, I'm in fitness. If you were to try to be like the next Sam Sulek and make like car vlogs, like unedited like training clips, it's not going to gain a crazy amount of traction because Sam's already done that, right? So you have to create niche-based content, like niche down, make a very specific style and type of content that
Within that niche.
exactly, yeah, that provides value to people, right? You have to provide value. People are only going to watch your shit if they gain something from it, whether it's education, inspiration, or entertainment. Those are the three types of value that I always say is big on social media.
That's a good like bullet. Like inspiration, education, or entertainment.
Exactly. Those are the three main points of value. You gotta think, when people are doom scrolling, first off, the hook's the biggest thing. You know what I mean? They want to feel like they can relate to the person watching the video. It's gotta make them want to stop. And they're only gonna watch the full video if they feel like they end the video off better than how they started it. So they're either gonna feel more inspired, more educated, or more entertained.
Okay.
Three things, you know what I'm saying?
That's
Right? So
good. That's
learn how
good,
to do
bro.
that, but the place to start, if you have no idea where to start, is fine. What about you is different. Storytelling is huge right now on social media. If you have a story to tell, just tell it and use it on social media. If you kind of struggle, that shit will create emotional connections through the camera. It's going to make someone want to follow you, engage with you, because they kind of relate to you. That's the biggest thing.
But yeah, bro. I appreciate you. Could you go first? I already went. It's Ben's turn. Linda.
Bro, if I get hurt, I can't train. I can't make money on myself. All right, do it. Let me see it. Go. All right, chat.
Just let's not them on the box.
All right, don't lose the aura. Bro, I don't know. He just did it and went. Bro, I'm not good at this shit. I'm scared. I'm gonna end up getting hurt. Oh, your turn, bro. Yo. Already flipped it, bro. We are on the way back home. Beautiful ass sunset. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Boys, we are on the way back home. Gotta go home and deal with some business. Business calls, bro, no matter the occasion. So back to the crib. Alright, boys, we are back to the crib. We got some meal prep delivered. I found a private, chef dude who does meal preps. And I went ahead and ordered some. I got 5 of them. I don't even remember what I ordered, to be honest. This looks like salmon. This looks like potatoes, chicken. This looks like, I don't know. What is this one? I don't know. Steak, it looks like. And I can't tell what that one is. That's pretty fire, though. Alright, boys. Quick little outfit change. We put some comfy shit on. We're about to head over to Pierre's crib. Pierre and I got a little work to do. We're going to go ahead and head over to his crib. What time even is it, bro? It's 9:30. Look at me roaming through Brickell, bro. I got my fucking meal prep. I got my backpack. Walking through Brickell. Bro. I need a favor, actually. I need you to take a picture of me for the agency website. Well, like a professional looking picture. It's for the new agency website. We're working on new agency website. Bro, you need to get a second monitor, bro. Yeah, it'll change your life, I promise you. It's 2 a.m. I just woke up on Pierre's couch. I don't even remember falling asleep. It's fucking 2 a.m. I'm going home back to my crib, bro. What the hell? To my crib we go. I don't feel like walking home, but you gotta do it. We made it home, boys. Problem is, it's 2:20 in the morning, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to just go to sleep. I'm not tired now. I'm in what's it called? I got a second wind. That's the word I'm looking for. So y'all know what that means. It's time to just go sit at the desk for a little bit, find something to work on until we get tired and can actually go to sleep. It's 3 in the morning. And this is the shit that's necessary. Putting in the hours, doing the things that are necessary in order to get to where you want to be. Here we are, 3 a.m. grinding out some deep work, just kind of vibing, bro. Kind of nice. I like getting in a deep late night work session because there's no distractions. There's no one to bother me. It's peaceful out. It's quiet. I'm just in my own zone, in my own flow. Just me versus the work. Me versus the thing that I'm working on. But with that being said, it's what time? Currently 3:29 a.m. on Sunday. So with that being said, boys, it's time to go ahead and go to sleep, and we'll catch y'all in the AM. Oh my gosh, that was chopped as fuck. Boys, this is not good. It's 1:30. I just woke up. But the good news is we got some plans for today. I gotta go ahead and get ready. I got some meetings and stuff to take care of. Obviously some work to take care of. And then I guess TJR's flying in tonight. So I think we're gonna do something. I might go to the gym after these meetings. I don't know if I'm going to go to the gym. I might just go to the gym here at my apartment complex, depending how much time I have, because I woke up so late because I'm a dumbass. But I need that sleep, bro. I've been running off very little sleep. And, I was up till fucking, oh my gosh, 4 a.m. last night. But I'm going to go ahead and get ready, and then we're going to go jump on these meetings. Mission objective before my first meeting in 15 minutes is get some caffeine, bro. I gotta get some caffeine pumped in my system before we have these couple meetings and this little bit of deep work we're about to get into.
But while I'm walking to go get my caffeine, I got myself a little monster here. But while I'm walking back to my apartment, I got recognized. We took a picture, had a super cool conversation and stuff, and then I was thinking, like, afterwards, I'm like, damn, bro, like, it's hard when I come into a situation like that. It's really hard for me to just, like, be mid-conversation with someone, or just, this is an example of a situation like that, and just pull out my camera in front of their face and be like, yeah, you want to say what's up to the vlog? It's like, I'm thinking, let me know your guys' thoughts. I'm thinking about hiring, like, a full-time filmer, so that I'm no longer filming my YouTube videos. I have someone who's with me filming them. I know you guys really like the handheld, like, raw, authentic style of vlog, but also I kind of think I might try out having a filmer, see how it goes. So y'all let me know down in the comments below. Do you want me to, I guess it would start off, plug this in. I guess it would start off with me testing it out for one video, see how that video performs, see how y'all like it, and then make like a final decision from there. But y'all let me know your thoughts and opinions on me hiring a filmer, because I think it would be a lot better content. I would be able to catch a lot of cool stuff, because in the moment when there's something happening, bro, it's like hard to be like, oh yeah, let me pull out my camera and film this, you know? So a lot of times you miss all the good shit when you are the one holding the camera. But let me know down in the comments below what your guys' thoughts on me hiring filmer would be. I gotta shut the fuck up and stop yapping and get on this meeting. But I guess I thought my meeting was at 2:30. It's at 3. So I guess we got 30 minutes to work on some random shit until then. Keep us posted throughout that. If you have any sort of questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out. Obviously, your success is our success, so don't hesitate to let us know when you need anything from us, and we'll be here to make sure we get you whatever you need on your end. All right, boys, we just wrapped that first meeting up. It looks like we got 13 minutes until the next one. This clip actually hit different.
I mean, they're like, I'm owning it. Like, I used to, like, talk for hours, like, if I had money and shit, like, what I do, how I do this. It's crazy, because, like, now it's like, that's my life. Shit, like, scary.
It's crazy, because, like, damn, that's my life. Shit, like, scary almost. Well, I mean, aside from that, that's really all I got on my end. Anything else you got for me? Bro, that's all I got on my end, too. I'll catch you soon, my boy. Catch you soon, bro. All right, peace, bro. All right, boys, we just wrapped up that meeting. It's time to make a little food. I got these meal preps that I got last night. Trying to decide which one do we make. I think I'm going to go with this. Looks like buffalo chicken, potatoes, and green beans. Shit looks hella good. Ooh. Ooh. That looks hella good, bro. I'm impressed with this meal prep, God. This shit goated, bro. Green beans, buffalo chicken, potatoes. It would be better if it was sweet potatoes instead of potatoes, but it's still so good, bro. It's only $20 a meal, which, like, yeah, it's kind of expensive, but, like, for the fact that it gets delivered at my door and I can just order it whenever, like, that's so goated. And it's healthy, too. This is, like, I think, like, 600 calories, like, 60 grams of protein. Like, it's clean food, like, Shopify. But no, this shit is fire, bro. All right, boys, just hopped off another little client check-in call, making sure they're all good, kind of going over some of the past results over the last, like, week or so. Now, taking a look in some stuff with the agency. We got the media buyers in here throwing up some wins. Let's go through some of these. So, boom, one of our clients here. In the last 7 days, we've spent $356 to make back 3.5K. That's a 10x ROAS. We got another one here. I don't know what the timestamp was. Owen didn't include it, but $254 spent to make 2,500. Another 10x ROAS. We got another one here. I don't know what's going on. We got $13 spent to make back, what is that, 3,472. That's a 263 ROAS, 261 ROAS. Another client here, $550 spent to make back 4K in the last 2 days, March 8th to March 9th. That is a 7.26 ROAS. Another client here, almost a 5 ROAS. What is that? 791 spent to make back 3.6K. These are all wins about like the past week or past couple of days. I asked the media buyers to send over some screenshots of some of the wins they got, so that I could show you guys within the past week since last vlog or last couple of days even. We got another one here, 200 spent to make back 2,000. It's a 10x ROAS. Another one here, past week, it looks like March 7th to March 14th, we've got $2,200 spent to make back $10,864. That's a 4.75 ROAS. Another one here, $950 spent to make back $9,804. That is a 10.3 ROAS. Another one here last week, 6.1K spent to make back $21,000. That's a 3.58 ROAS. And another one here last 7 days, we got 2K spent to make back $11,750. That is a 5.68 ROAS. So the agency is absolutely crushing numbers right now. Crazy killer results for our clients. Shout out to any of the boys from the agency team if you're watching this. Everything we've built together would not be possible without y'all. So shout out to all these boys from the team. If you guys are watching this and you own any sort of e-com brand and you're looking to work with my team to have us run ads for your brand and directly scale your brand, there's going to be a link to my agency's website down in the description below where you can apply to work with us. With any sort of brand, if you don't have an organic foundation built and you don't have some streamline of revenue already coming in, you shouldn't even be thinking about running ads. Your main focus on the get-go with any sort of new brand should be building that foundation and then look to put fuel on that fire of that foundation as you kind of build that foundation. So it's important to kind of have that organic base set and then add that fuel on fire, which usually is some sort of paid stream of revenue. So like in this case, Facebook ads. And kind of that threshold of brands that we work with, we usually use kind of about 10K a month in revenue as that like qualification guideline. But if you own any sort of e-com brand and you're kind of looking at some of those things, the link to my agency's website is down in the description below. My agency is up to about 10 employees now. I genuinely think that we are one of the best in the game, especially when it comes to our service delivery overall. Absolutely top fucking tier. We constantly have a manager inside of your channel to constantly answer questions for you, to constantly give you updates on things. We send over weekly and monthly reports of all the results you're getting and things, action steps that need to be taken to improve those results both on our end and yours. We fully keep you updated on what's going on inside of your ad account, the results we're getting, the changes we're making, things we're doing to improve results. And like all over the past couple of months, we have been building up the service delivery of the agency like crazy, because really the best way to scale an agency is to have top tier service delivery and top tier quality of the service that you're selling. Because then from there we sign these big clients, right? We get them the results that they're looking for, and do the things that they're looking for, and they're happy with the results. They go and tell all their friends that own brands about our agency and what we do for them. Right? So my biggest focus, and Nate's biggest focus over the last like 3 months or so, has really been about building the infrastructure of the agency and building service delivery to top quality. Also wanted to throw in there, if you guys are interested in learning more about what specifically what I do, also down in the description, like about the agency website, we have free training. You can go check that out. It'll just kind of tell you a little bit more about what I do and I guess how exactly you could get into it yourself as well. So if you're interested in learning more about what I do and how I afford this lifestyle at 20, there's that link down in the description with my free training. It's completely free, so go check it out if you want. Alright boys, here's what I'm working on now. Getting this new module.
Fuck you in the ass, bitch.
We're all here tonight. We have Steve Forbes, Forbes Media Chairman and Editor-in-Chief. He will take no responsibility for Art Laffer, former Reagan economist, or Steve Moore, host of More Money on WABC Radio. And those two managed to co-author a book called The Trump Economic Miracle without any help from me, which I still think was a big mistake. All right. All right. I want to start with the difficulties in this budget resolution. Steve Moore, you are constantly attacking the senators, but actually, and I'm glad the House got its budget res. I'm glad they drew first blood. But as I said in the RIP, the House thing has a lot of major league problems. They're falling into a tax trap. They're not making the tax cuts permanent. Those are two big items here. Something's got to be done about that.
I agree with that, but I also believe, as you just said, that there's an urgency about this of getting the tax cut done, signed, sealed, and delivered. I see no reason why it cannot be done by Memorial Day. And one of the mistakes that Reagan made was they weren't able to get that tax cut done until the end of his first year in the White House, and then it was delayed, and it's Arthur Laffer has taught me. So I don't want to repeat that mistake. I was at a conference this weekend, Larry, with a bunch of the Republican operatives from the House and Senate, and is apropos to what you were just saying about this kind of Ford Nixon mentality. They kept talking about how we got to cut the deficit,
Right.
and I was thinking, they spent hours on this, and I never heard the word growth.
Right.
Grow the economy, that's the solution.
And by the way, Arthur, they're going to have a big growth component. If they think they're going to, it's interesting to me. The only way to break through, and I've talked to Senator Mike Crapo about it. Crapo is a brilliant guy. He's completely transparent. He's just an ordinary guy. Dial him up his cell phone and says, hello, this is Mike. I mean, it's really fascinating. He always gets right back to it. But the point is, if you're going to put both the Trump 1.0 tax cuts, the 2017 tax cuts, plus the new ones,
Hey everyone, so I was supposed to go to school today to get some studying done, but I actually did the exam and everything for my biology class at home. Thankfully, a lot of my classes are at home. Today I have a birthday where I'm going to be celebrating it with my friends. So I'm going to go over to his place and celebrate it with them. But I wanted to say, real quick, I wanted to share a little bit about my story. And so I'm 29 right now. I'm going to be 30. I've been living at home for the last 3 years. I've been going to school. I started going to school like a year and a half ago. I wasn't doing anything. I was figuring out YouTube. I was trying to do that. I try to be a singer, and I try to do that. I do eBay, Uber Eats. But I've pretty much just been living at home after my last breakup. I talked about it. I had moved out with her, and we were living together. We were together for like 4.5 years. So I moved out for 4 years, basically. And I got closer with my parents. My dad's had cancer a few times. My mom is going through her health stuff. She's had a lot of times that she's had to go to the hospital, in and out of the hospital pretty much these last few years. And I've been here with them, and I haven't really felt the need to get away from them because of those scares. Because my dad got sick when I was like 8. That kind of scared me, made me think life is scary. And I've been trying to get over that, ever since then. I'm going to be 30, and moving out and going to university is a huge change because I've been dreaming of the
As questions continue to grow about whether Donald Trump is in charge of anything or has any idea what's going on in his administration, he suffered a complete and total meltdown during another one of these farcical cabinet meetings yesterday. In this one, visibly forgetting Usha Vance's name, using every word and phrase to try to refer to her other than her name. It really felt less like a cabinet meeting and more like a Mad Lib speed run for a guy who's very clearly not okay. Take a listen to this. This is tough to listen to.
Confused, President. Greenland is confused about the second lady and the national security visiting this meeting. They're concerned that this is further provocation for whatever it is you ultimately want for Greenland. Could you further explain why they're going? What is the ultimate end goal?
Yeah, well, not provocation. This is friendliness, not provocation. We're dealing with a lot of people from Greenland that would like to see something happen with respect to them being properly protected and properly taken care of. They're calling us, we're not calling them. And we were invited them over there, and I thought it would be great. I have great respect for the wife of our great vice president.
That lady.
I think she's she's a brilliant woman. She's a very nice woman. And she loves the concept of Greenland. And
the concept. Greenland's a concept.
And so she's going there, and I think Marco's going there, and some others are going there. But
she, the very lovely woman who is married to the guy that I chose to be in that role that is sort of like below mine that I'm in. So Trump can't remember Usha Vance's name. Fine. He kind of mumbles his way through his lovely, wonderful wife, and then calls Greenland a concept, which is, it's funny because when he was asked, do you have a healthcare plan? He goes, oh, I have concepts of a plan. And then now he says, well, Greenland is a concept. He is really stretching the meaning of that term. And clearly he respects Usha Vance so much that he doesn't know her name. Trump then making the really strange announcement that soon they will be announcing cars.
You saw what happened today with Venezuela. We did something with Venezuela, which is long in the making, and it's very substantial. And we'll be announcing cars very shortly, and we already announced steel, as you know. And
he will be announcing cars and steel.
Aluminum. We'll be announcing pharmaceuticals at some point in the not too distant, because we have to have pharmaceuticals. We don't make pharmaceuticals anymore in our country.
Right.
And if we have problems like wars or anything else, we need steel, we need pharmaceuticals, we need aluminum, we need a lot of these things that we sort of don't make anymore, and yet we're equipped to do it all.
Yeah. This is all 2 weeks away. The announcement is forthcoming. It's just out of reach. It's 2 weeks away, and then we're going to know all about it. Trump also said during this harebrained event that the country was riddled with fat. I present it without further comment.
We're doing it to help our country, and our country was riddled with fat.
Yeah.
Like no country probably anywhere in the world. And we're getting rid of the fat. We're
The
doing
fat
it
is soon going to be gone, tells us Donald Trump. And if you thought that was kind of like rock bottom, buckle up, because Trump ended his so-called cabinet meeting by going full Elon Musk fanboy, threatening anyone who might wish to do harm to Tesla.
If he wasn't doing this, he wouldn't have any of these difficulties. And I think it's getting less and less. Pam has done a great job with regard to all of the, I know the kind of investigations that are going on. If she finds them, which she will, she already found 4 of them. But I think they're going to suffer very grave consequences, because they're really terrorists when you think about it. They're terrorists at a high level. And I think the people that are financing them, they could very well be people I know, people that you read about. But those people are in big trouble. So they better cut it out. But Elon's a patriot. We want to thank you very much for the job you're doing.
Thank you, Elon. Thank you. And if only the people who attacked the Capitol were attacking Tesla showrooms, they would be real American heroes. Of course, no doubt about it. Trump then, in a bizarre moment beyond belief, talks about all the fraud that Elon supposedly found.
It's a fraud. Yeah. It's a fraud. But we've had many fraudulent contracts that were caused by the work that Elon and his people are doing, and working with our people. It's been brought to light that the fraud, not just waste and abuse, the fraud has been incredible. You mentioned what, Madam Secretary?
Well, yes.
And of course, I hope that if all of this fraud is being uncovered, that very, very soon arrests will be made and people will be charged, because fraud is a crime, and I'm sure that they will be prosecuting that. Finally, Trump concludes the sort of kids' version of a cabinet meeting by kissing Elon Musk's ass. And is this actually? I hope that this is not the exact same. Let me go to the end, because you actually hear Elon in the background. Is the part
Very much for the job you're doing. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so this is the clip where Elon's in the background talking about death threats that he's getting. All right, so listen, this is what I guess qualifies as a cabinet meeting in 2025. Certainly doesn't resemble any cabinet meetings I've seen before, even from Trump's first term, which was already pretty bad, quite a departure. It is one other detail about the cabinet meetings that's funny. Some people come away thinking, oh, they let the press in for a moment, but like this isn't the meeting. This is just they're talking to the press. No, this is the meeting. It's being reported that this is the full thing. The cabinet meeting is that. It's Trump ranting and a couple of people getting a chance to say something really bad. And if you are curious how things got to this point, I do recommend my book, The Echo Machine. It is out everywhere. Thousands of these are being dumped into people's homes, if you can imagine. And if you've gotten the book, please, please, please review it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Goodreads. This will be critical for weeks 2, 3, and 4 to keep the momentum going. Guys in my audience, I know you're tired of the chafing with traditional underwear. Our sponsor, Sheath, makes the most comfortable boxer briefs I've ever worn. If you're sick of the boxers that are too loose or the briefs that are too tight, Sheath is for you. Sheath underwear is designed with 2 special pouches in the front. Keeps everything separate in its own compartment with extra confidence that you will feel throughout the day. Keeping things separate and comfortable, no more sticking and chafing. I was skeptical about the dual pouch, I admit it, but it is game-changing. Everything stays where it is supposed to be. Extra useful when working out at the gym. And even if you don't want to use the pouches, you don't have to. It is still the most comfortable pair of underwear I have ever owned. It will blow your mind how soft and stretchy these are, made with moisture-wicking technology to keep you dry. If you were ready to take underwear comfort to a new place, a place you didn't even know it could go, head over to sheathunderwear.com/Pacman and get 20% off with the code Pacman. The link is in the description.
Republicans are getting an earful from their own red district constituents over these Trump-Musk agenda items.
Why are we allowing an unelected person, Elon Musk, to make decisions on our government agencies?
I get it. There's a lot of people in this room that don't support what Doge is doing. But for the first time, we are making some progress. And listen, when Joe Biden was doing stuff like I will not cut your Social Security. It is a promise.
We're not at war, and Donald Trump is not a king. He's not above the law. What will you do to make sure he doesn't defy court orders and make a stand for the Constitution and democracy?
It's not healthy for the Republic to have court orders that are not being obeyed.
I support Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency.
What you see there is civics in action. I've told you, the campaign season is over. Town halls are about governing, and for any representatives who take them seriously because they're up for election in the next 2 years, or actually think they want to know what their constituents think, this can matter. Indeed, you saw the softening of some language there about something very basic that led our show tonight, following court orders rather than defying them, but you have a conservative Republican in a conservative district telling everyone, well, yes, we should at least do that. Local groups are also putting up billboards for lawmakers who won't even step up and face peaceful civic questioning like I just showed you. Have you seen our congressman? Meanwhile, I want to play something important from Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski. For years, we have reported on the problem of money in politics, and it is generally, let's be clear, a nonpartisan problem. It afflicts both parties. We've done whole reports here and had guests on, and I've told you about how corporate and Wall Street interests have too much, that is to say, more power because of their money than they would have just in a democracy that reflected what the public thinks. Here's a conservative, Lisa Murkowski, saying that problem has afflicted her party because people are afraid that Musk can use or abuse his money to distort elections.
It may be that Elon Musk has decided he's going to take the next $1 billion that he makes off of Starlink and put it directly against Lisa Murkowski. Everybody else is like, well, how come nobody else is saying anything? Well, figure it out. That's why you've got everybody just like zip lip, not saying a word, because they're afraid they're going to be taken down. They're going to be primaried.
Figure it out. We don't think Lisa Murkowski is a method actor. We think she was really reflecting how she felt. You could see some of her concern there as one of the few outliers who she says, is not afraid of the primary or will face it if she gets one from Musk. She is describing a party that has been captured. Meanwhile, business leaders and others are grappling with how the Trump economic agenda and the tariff uncertainty is affecting their livelihood.
She's enjoyed owning a craft store, but with tariffs imposed by the Trump administration, she's about to hit a stitch in her business.
Georgia,
Middleburg Heights,
Northeast Wisconsin.
There's changes every day as far as the tariff percentages.
That's really bad for the consumer and obviously for the local business.
It's not easy to pinpoint which country's tariffs will hurt the most.
Tariffs are another added pressure in an already tough environment right now.
If I get hit with those tariffs mid-year, it's going to be an absolute killer on the business.
This is not some conspiracy theory spin that is going to trick people out of what you just saw there around the country, going through the lived reality of the Trump economic agenda. Meanwhile, we have new information from the Federal Reserve, which says the economic outlook is looking worse and worse, with growing inflation, a contrast to lowering the prices that Trump vowed in the campaign, less growth, and just the overall uncertainty. Wall Street is concerned, and those top tech companies, the so-called Magnificent Seven, as well. All right, not that Magnificent Seven, although let us know, Pete fans and viewers, if that rings any bells, but this is a term also used, of course, in the markets. Magnificent Seven is those 7 top tech stocks. Seven top tech stocks, my bad. But they're all down in 2025. That's Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, the AI company, Amazon, Musk's Tesla, which crashed by many billions, Google and Meta. They are down, 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 which means their MAGA owners who made such a big bet that was often explained as their smart business plan, even that, by that narrow measure, didn't work. Donald Trump has cost these folks billions of dollars.
I think we have to stand for something. I'm not one of those people who thinks Chuck Schumer should resign or any of that kind of stuff. He's been a very effective leader. But he does not, I mean, and this pandemic in Washington, which as you know, I think is middle school on steroids, essentially. Smart, hardworking, and it's all about them. So the people in Washington generally don't have a good handle on what's going on in the base or in the country. And it's one of the reasons we struggle to win. So we really need to be outside Washington. That's where our message needs to come from. I do think the Democrats ought to be having town meetings, and I like this idea that's been floated, and I think it's where Democratic congressmen go and have town meetings in Republican districts, since the Republicans aren't doing town meetings. We've got to, and I've said this before on this show, we've got to be out there knocking on doors, and I don't mean the congressmen, I mean people running for the local offices and the DNC.
Which you have a track record on from Democracy for America. I mean, you specifically, DFA and other efforts. Since you mentioned Schumer, let me play what he's saying. That's his side of the story, as well as his interview with Chris Hayes. Take a look.
Democratic leader Chuck Schumer explained his decision to vote for the Republican bill.
I think there is a deep sense of outrage and betrayal.
There's only one choice to going along with it. Shut down. We have to pick the fights. Look, if our democracy is at risk,
it is at risk. Yes.
Sorry, it's certainly at risk.
Well, do you believe in it?
But if
I don't want to put words in your mouth. Do you believe it's a
Trump thing?
You think we're not there yet?
Well, I think we're getting there. We have to be really vigilant.
Howard?
Ironically, democracy certainly is at risk, and that was the fundamental mistake that I think Chuck made. He's a brilliant tactician, and let's not forget he's gotten all those judges through for Biden, who even out-appointed Trump in his term. But I don't think people from Washington understand what's going on in this country. I really don't. And you have to fight. You have to be willing to commit, and that's what I thought AOC was so good at. I think, Bernie and I have had our tiffs over the years. We share the same state, but he's exactly on the message right now with this trip that he and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez are taking. And we have to be like that. We have to be willing to show that we're going to stand up for people. And that's why Trump won.
Trump convinced them falsely, because he lied every single day he was out there, that he was going to stand up for them. And they figured, well, okay, let's give it a shot. And, we've got to be out there, and we've got to be at every door, and it can't be the same old from inside the Beltway, who has a different agenda, not a bad agenda for the country, but a different agenda. And the emergency agenda right now is, for most Americans, is how the hell am I going to make a living? And Trump's making things worse.
Governor, since we've been on the air tonight, a story has broken in the New York Times, and it has broken since I have been on the air, and so I've not fully read in on this, but I know that you've at least seen the headline, and I want to ask you just for your reaction to this. It's a pretty shocking story. The headline is, Musk, meaning Elon Musk, set to get access to top secret U.S. plan for potential war with China. The lead is this: the Pentagon is scheduled tomorrow, Friday, to brief Elon Musk on the U.S. military's plan for any war that might break out with China. One official confirming to the Times that Musk is to be at the Pentagon on Friday, but offering no details. Mr. Musk, of course, has extensive financial interests in China, and so this, I think, is raising lots of alarm bells for a lot of different people. The Pentagon's war plans, known in military jargon as O plans or operational plans, are among the military's most closely guarded secrets. If a foreign country was to learn how the U.S. planned to fight a war against them, it could reinforce its defenses and address its weaknesses, making the plans far less likely to succeed. The top secret briefing for the China war plan has 20 to 30 slides that lay out how the U.S. would fight such a conflict. It covers various options on what Chinese targets the U.S. could hit over what time period, and these would be the options that would be presented to Mr. Trump for decisions. For some reason, they've decided to show Elon Musk this level of detail about a potential war with China while he operates the largest largest car factory, I believe, in China, and has immense financial interests in that country and contacts with that country's government that he has not disclosed to the U.S. as part of maintaining his security clearance. I just got to get your reaction to that, sir.
Well, speechless would be the word. I don't know how to convey. I don't possess the language ability to convey how far out of the norm this is. Like nothing that people listening. Like, look, this is those of us who served. The background checks from the FBI, just to receive clearance as an artillery enlisted soldier was extensive to get that background. And then the level of information that you can get, or as a member of Congress, to be able to have access to this type of information. These are closely guarded secrets because our national and our global defense depends upon them. And once again, we have this, I don't know, the character, the world's richest man with the world's most fragile ego. And I don't understand where the Republicans, where are Lindsey Grahams, where are these people who know how this works, to not be terrified of where this is at. And again, seeing the Commerce Secretary today tell people to go buy a specific stock, and not jesting, not in that. And look, I have to be very careful because I'll be candid, I think this guy is deeply damaged, a buffoon, but I also don't want to elevate him. He is unelected. He does not know how this stuff works. And Donald Trump is being reckless with the most sensitive data. So I want to try and provide some assurance to the American people. But I also think our leadership needs to be very clear about not sugarcoating this. And Donald Trump obviously disrespects the American public. He thinks they're not smart enough to understand this and doesn't care. I do believe the American public knows. And I do believe when they see stories like this, that this is why these town halls are growing so big. This is why folks are starting to question. And what I truly worry that I get sucked into too is they throw so much at it. This is the stuff that you should watch. This is the disappearing people, sharing our most guarded secrets on global conflict with a truly unstable private citizen who has no authority and appears to not care. So yeah, I would just say this is chilling. I'm hoping that the resistance, and right now the resistance has to be in the Senate. Republican senators need to put a stop to this and pull this back.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, sir, thank you for making time to be here tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Rachel.
And here is America right now. The Democrats' more outspoken leaders, Sanders and Ocasio-Cortez, leading a Nevada rally today dubbed Fighting the Oligarchy, pushing a more aggressive approach to the other side of America. You also see on your screen President Trump promoting an executive action rather than working with Congress on passing actual legislation or long-term policy. He claims that what you see him signing there will start a process to close the education department. We have more on that coming up. But the rally, as you can see in the line here, drew over 50,000 RSVPs, the Democratic rally, per organizers. Here's more of that line.
We're all here together because we share in the frustration and the heartache that comes from watching those in power actively tear down or refuse to fight for everyday working Americans like us. And we are here together because an extreme concentration of power and corruption is taking over this country like never.
I'm gonna give you guys hints.
This is my first donation.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you, Lime. I appreciate the five, my friend. Chat, I'm gonna give you hints as to what we're doing. Try and figure it out. Now, before we do though, I need to ask you guys, okay, why, somebody please explain to me why this video of me expanding got so many views. Look at this, okay? I found this short randomly on my feed, and it has 500,000 views. It's just called Steak Expands. Oh, you had to make the camera smaller so you could see how big I expanded. Chat, he literally had to make the camera smaller so you could see how big I expanded. Now, I want to ask you all.
Mushman64 super chatted $2. Steak, I love you all, so I said me first.
Thanks, bro. All right, now, chat. I'm gonna give you a hint as to the challenge that we're doing today. All I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm gonna just show you this. Okay, that's all you guys get. This is what we're going to be using for our challenge on today's live stream. This battery.
Degrees Celsius, so okay, i.e. degrees super chatted $1.99. W steak.
So a lot of people are saying something. So I'm going to go get another object. Makila, send me that when I get back. I'm going to go get another object to show you guys so that you can understand what we're doing for this challenge. But hold on, let me, I actually, surprise, we're going to be going on mobile stream, chat. We're going to be doing a mobile stream. Okay. Okay, now, let's go ahead and switch to the mobile camera. Yeah. Live synchronization. Live. Okay. We are now on a mobile device here. Hopefully this thing doesn't start lagging like it did before. Hey guys, how do we look? Whoa, I look like 4K. Damn, chat, how do I look? How do I look? Whoa, I look like 4K. Whoa. Do I look like I'm in 4K right now? Damn, chat. Yeah, you look like that, eh?
Thumbs up emoji. Thumbs up emoji.
Wait, I'm muted?
Thumbs up emoji. Thumbs up emoji.
Oh wait, someone's been spamming donos. Quiet! Don't spam! Y'all can hear me, right? Chat, can y'all hear me? Spam, you look
Okay, guys. I don't know what to do here. How do I, okay, low latency. How do I, can you guys hear me or what? Like, how's this, what's happening right now? I don't know what's going on. Say something if you could hear me. Infernal. Just, yeah, okay. What? Name is, okay, guys, okay. Should I give away some more Robux? Huh? Should I give away some more? Tell me now. I hate how it takes like a minute for everyone to answer because of my stupid stream lag. Okay, analytics. Wow, guys, average watch time 2 minutes. What the frick, you guys? You gotta be watching for longer than that. Okay. Yes. Everyone say yes. More Robux. Okay. Yes, I will give more. I will give. Okay, guys. I'll give more. Okay, I'll give more Robux. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Okay. Whoever joins my game first, I will give you 1,000 Robux. Okay. Or actually, oh, I have a better idea. You guys. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make it. Okay, so we're going to play hide and seek. All right. I'm gonna play my SpongeBob game, and I'm gonna hide somewhere. How do I make it a little content? This before, it's basically just a copy of Darkness. Also, I need to give away some more Robux to keep you guys watching. We're doing good so far. We got our watch time up. Okay, that's good. You guys keep watching. Okay, please keep watching. Okay. I'm gonna give away some Robux again because I want to keep you guys entertained and watching. Because I'll play Murder Mystery in a bit. But I used to. Seems neat. I think they're probably talking. Okay, you said MM2. I'm sorry, you guys. Everybody is like saying a bunch of different stuff. Okay, I'll give someone to. Okay, whoever says steak in all caps in the comments, I will give you 1,000 Robux. Okay, say steak in all caps, but also put your username so that we can give you the Robux. But also you have to be in my group for more than 2 weeks, or I can't give you the Robux. Oh, look, it was Baby's Toka Stories. You did it. Baby's Toka Stories. You got it. Okay. So you gotta either make a game pass for 1,000 Robux, or tell me your username. Michael Isaacs, you were so close, man. I'm so sorry. Or okay, wait, guys, here, we're gonna do a sweet little poll here. What do you want me to do? Okay. What should I do? I'm gonna do either. Okay, should I give everyone 50 Robux, or one person 1,000 Robux? Okay. What are we gonna do here, guys? I'm gonna ask. Okay, guys. What's the deal here? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do, guys? Okay, Baby Toka Stories said this. I hope you're in my group. Oh, everyone 50 Robux. Wow, guys. Well, okay. The only way I'm gonna be able to do that is if either you're all in my group, or you guys make a game pass for me, and you put the link in. I don't know if they'll let you do it in the chat, but I don't know if that might not work actually. Here, I'll just give the person who won. I hope you're in my group. You better be in my group, I swear. Okay. How many should I give her, guys? Oh, this one? What? You're not even in my group? Okay, Baby. What is your name? Baby Diamonds Toka Stories. You're not even in my group, okay? How can you expect me to give you Robux when you're not even in my group? Okay? That's not the okay? Okay, Fluffy B. Okay, you may have joined the group, but you have to be in it for 2 weeks for me to do group funds. So, guys,
The shadows. The shadows. The shadows. The shadows.
Pass me by, because you know just sitting down. The stars conceal the sky.
Welcome back. So the big news for this afternoon is this. GameStop, it's been speculated for quite some time, but it has been confirmed. GameStop is going to add Bitcoin to their treasury. That's right. It's finally confirmed. Now, how much cash does GameStop have? How much Bitcoin can they add to their treasury right away? You may be wondering. Well, approximately 4.61 billion. Look at that. Look at that cash pile grow and grow and grow and grow. And after this announcement, look at this. Their stock shot up 8%. And we have another one of those short squeeze moments happen starting tomorrow. So why is this significant? Obviously, having another company embrace Bitcoin, adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet is a plus for Bitcoin. This is exactly what Michael Saylor has set to accomplish.
Hassan blocked Elon after challenging him to a fight me in Elden Ring. Calls Hassan a chicken shit retard.
Context.
You can tell a lot by Ubisoft with how much money they're throwing at terrorist platforming streamers. Hassan is a fraud. Sellout would be more accurate. Objectively, he's promoting a terrible game just for the money. He just says it's terrible. Yeah, he is doing it for the money, right? I mean, and I have no problem with people doing things for money. There's nothing wrong with doing things for money. I think the reason why people criticize Hassan for doing things for money is that he's a big advocate of, socialist policies and everything. When you see a guy that talks all the time about how society is unfair, about how wealth inequality is a big issue, and complains and is a big socialist, and this is a person that lives in a multi-million-dollar house, has tons of designer clothes, wears tons of jewelry, and lives a luxury celebrity lifestyle, there is going to be a lot of dissonance there, and that's a really tough pill to swallow for an average person. And hopefully, I'm sure he'll see this. Hopefully, he understands, I get where you're coming from. I understand it. But at the same time, you have to look at it from the point of view of just your average Joe. Your average Joe sees that and he says, well, if he thinks this, why does he live like this? And again, I've defended him with this stuff. Houses in LA are really fucking expensive. I know that. I looked at them. So somebody tells me he gets a $2.7-3 million house. I know what that is in Austin. I've looked at them. But at the same time, that's not going to... Some guy that lives in Wichita or bumfuck Mississippi, they see $2.7 million house. They're thinking about the White House or something, right? Like a massive mansion. Hassan blocked Elon after challenging him to a fight me in Elden Ring. Calls Hassan a chicken shit retard. That is so fucking funny. Wow. And then Hassan, did Hassan beat the DLC in Elden Ring? I don't think he did. I wonder who would win. Actually, this would be so fucking funny if this happened. Oh my god. Good for Asmongold. Oh, he's talking about me. So finally, see, guys, I told you he'd come back around. That's fine. And, yeah, so true. Good for me. Yeah, another call for violence. I don't know how... It's not necessarily good for me that there's a call for violence, but maybe it is, because it means that people are talking about me. And, yeah, there we go. Holy fucking shit. Son is such a chicken shit retard that he blocked me. Oh my fucking god. I would... Dude, if they want to do it, I would love to see a 1v1 of Elon Musk versus Hassan in Elden Ring. But the thing is that both of them have to stream it. Because we have to make sure that it's actually Hassan playing the character and it's actually Elon playing the character, right? We can't have any ghost, like you can't go and be like, alright, I'm gonna start playing, and then you call in, some like Dark Souls 3 PvP expert here, right? So you have to have it happening live stream, right? Best 3 out of 5. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can find this. Oh my fucking god. Elon Musk says Hassan is a fraud after taking multiple Assassin's Creed Shadows sponsorships. Ubisoft for sponsoring their stream for me to play Assassin's Creed Shadow before it comes out. Maybe it's because I'm a weeb. Ubisoft for Yeah. Like the fucking literal president, which I'm going to talk about in a second. The literal president. The current president. The shadow president is doing call-out posts, calling me a freaking fraud on his website. The fuck? How can you tell me that I am not a gamer? How can you tell me that I'm not a gamer when the president of the United States of America, perhaps the planet, is freaking out about my gaming? He's not the president of gaming, let me tell you.
Next stop, the recycling bin.
Okay, let me go back. There's more. He posted that I blocked him. This guy is such a fucking loser. I can't believe it.
Oh no, Dr. Billy Tier.
I can't. Oh my god, I'm gonna have Grimes really happy on the broadcast. You keep this shit up, Elon. You keep this shit up. I'm gonna have Grimes on the broadcast. I'm gonna have your daughter on the broadcast. You keep this shit up. You keep it going. I'm gonna interview everybody. That's a good content, buddy. Okay. Time to learn Blue Sky, buddy. No, this is the whole point. Hassan is never going to go to Blue Sky. He's too popular on Twitter. He's not going to go over to Blue Sky, okay? I'm going to say it, and it's fine, right? I mean, you don't see me going over to streaming on Party or something like that either. Like, I understand it. It's fine, but that's it. Point. No, I did block him. Yes, it's not a lie. He blocked it's right here on screen. Of course I blocked him. Man, I don't want to see his fucking post, dude. What do you mean? If there's a post that is relevant, Megaphonics will let me know. Okay? Trust me. But yeah, I blocked him because I couldn't. It was so much. It was always. He posts so much. He constantly fucking tweets, and he's such a narcissistic man-child that it's just unfun. I can't wait to call Hassan a chicken shit retard. Oh my god. Fucking bearable. It's unbearable. I constantly see his fucking dumbass posts. Jesus. Okay, alright. There's more to this too, right? There's gotta be more to this. Welcome to the club. Oh, he has this guy banned as well. I think this might be this might be the whole thing. Oh man. Wow. Okay, well, look. I am more than willing to organize a 1v1 in Elden Ring, okay? Like, that would be such a great fucking show. Look at Hassan's page. Did he do another one? Well, I don't know where it is. He responded to Elon and offers Elon to come on stream. I blocked you because you bought this website and force everyone to see your tweet 7,000 times a day. Come on stream if you're such a big man. Oh, man. That would be funny as fuck, bro. An Elden Ring showdown in the Coliseum. Oh, my God. Oh, I would love this. It's happening live? Yeah, I would love to see it, man. And who do you think wins it? I honestly don't know. Actually, guys, this is the perfect time for a poll. Give me a minute. There's the poll. Let's see what you guys have to say. Ask Rock. You know what? I'm going to do that. That would be so fucking funny. Let me ask his own AI. In an Elden Ring 1v1, who would win? Elon Musk or Hassan Piker? Predicting the outcome of an Elden Ring 1v1 between Elon Musk and Hassan Piker is speculative, but can be informed with what we know about their gaming experience and approaches to the game. Elon Musk has publicly shared his Elden Ring build, which became infamous for its unconventional and suboptimal choices. His character at level 111 leaned heavily. Okay, so this is Hassan, on the other hand, is a Twitch streamer with significant gaming experience, having streamed Elden Ring extensively. He did. And having known to tackle the game's challenges live, including rage quitting after struggling with an NPC invader, Mad Tongue Aldrich. Wait, isn't that the one in Roundtable Hold? Despite quickly defeating the first boss, Margit. This indicates he's comfortable with the game's difficulty and has practical experience with its mechanics, even if he's not immune to frustration. Okay, in a duel of 1v1, Elden Ring heavily favors skill, reaction time, and build efficiency. Musk's heavy, clunky build would leave him vulnerable to a mobile opponent who can dodge and punish slow rolls. Hassan, with his streaming experience, will likely have a better understanding of the game's meta, could exploit this by using a faster weapon like a katana or a rapier, bro. He's bringing out the Moonveil, or spacing Musk out with spells while avoiding his attack. Musk's high intelligence and spell slots could pose a threat if the hits land. Given these factors, Hassan Piker would likely win. His practical experience and adaptability as a streamer give him an edge over Musk's quirky, inefficient build and questionable combat prowess. That said, it'd be a hilarious spectacle Musk spat rolling into Hassan's blade while tweeting about it mid-fight. Man. The chat thinks Elon would win.
Hang tight.
Yeah, I know the website crashed, so it's not calculating a lot of the votes. That's just what happens, because there's a lot of people that are going to go on it, and that's how it goes. That's how it is. Oh my fucking god. So 70% of the people think Elon would win. Dude. The best outcome would be if Elon won, and it gets exposed later in like a Carl Jobs video, like 2 months after the fact, that Elon actually had a secret shadow gamer that was next to him, and Elon had his hands on the keyboard and mouse, but his keyboard and mouse actually weren't plugged in, and it was a secondary monitor feed from somebody else next to him, and it wasn't actually him playing the game. So Elon won, but it wasn't actually him. That would be, by the way, and I'm not a religious dude, but this is outrageous. So, Mia Khalifa, becoming hyper-religious in adulthood is a sign of low intelligence, not enlightenment. The rising voices of fuckboys turned pastors and club rats turned women of God, selling the far-right image. Y'all are the degenerates. Well, I don't understand, like, the logic with this, because wasn't this girl a porn star that stuck with each for a living, and now she's trying to move past that and be seen as somebody else beyond that?
Now, it's not every day you get to have someone on was also the #1 ranked adult film star on Pornhub. Do I have that right so far, Mia?
First of all, I was in the adult industry for 3 months, so you need to fucking fact check before you ask me to call into your shitty radio station. Goodbye.
We weren't supposed to mention that she was ever in porn.
Whenever she tries to rehabilitate her image and not be seen as a girl with a dick next to her face, that's somehow empowering. But when a person wants to get religious, somehow that's low intelligence. I think this is outrageous. What if
Joining us now, one of the principals who was on that Signal chat, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. Advisor Waltz, thank you for joining us tonight. The president expressed complete confidence in you today and his entire cabinet. But how did a Trump-hating editor of The Atlantic end up on your Signal chat?
You know, Laura, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but of all the people out there, somehow this guy who has lied about the president, who has lied to Gold Star families, lied to their attorneys, and gone to Russia hoax, gone to just all kinds of links to lie and smear the president of the United States, and he's the one that somehow gets on somebody's contact and then gets sucked into this group.
Is someone in your intel? Is someone in your intel team trying to cause trouble here? Because that's the scuttlebutt out there.
Look,
that
we have people. No, look, this is a great group. The president has a great team. This is not personal.
No, your team. I'm not talking about the other principals.
No. These were principals and a couple of staff that were coordinating. As you saw, a policy discussion as we went forward, and then just in the days before, what was an incredible strike. Not only did we take out people that the Biden team never could, that we took out headquarters, missile caches, and actually one of the leaders of the Houthi organization. We've since taken out several since. And, you know, that's what they don't want to talk about. They don't want to talk about the success here. They don't want to talk about the hostages getting released. They don't want to talk about the Black Sea ceasefire that we just put in place today as the president ends the largest land war in Europe, or the border, or the fact that Panama just kicked China out of the canal, and success after success after success. So they want to focus on this. It's embarrassing, yes. We're going to get to the bottom of it. I just talked to Elon on the way here. We've got the best technical minds looking at how this happened. But I can tell you for 100%, I don't know this guy. I know him by his horrible reputation, and he really is the bottom scum of journalists. And I know him in the sense that he hates the president, but I don't text him. He wasn't on my phone, and we're going to figure out how this happens.
So you don't know what staffer is responsible for this right now?
Well, look, a staffer wasn't responsible, and look, I take full responsibility. I built the group. My job is to make sure everything's coordinated.
But how did
we execute.
I mean, I don't mean to be pedantic here, but how did the number?
Have you ever had somebody's contact that shows their name, and then you have somebody else's number there?
I never make those mistakes.
Right? You got somebody else's number on someone else's contact. So of course I didn't see this loser in the group. It looked like someone else. Now whether he did it deliberately or it happened in some other technical mean is something we're trying to figure out.
So your staffer did not put his contact information.
No.
But how did it end up?
So that's what we're trying to figure out.
But that's a pretty big problem.
That's what we've got the best technical minds, right?
That's disturbing.
And that's where, I mean, I'm sure everybody out there has had a contact where it was said one person and then a different phone number.
But you've never talked to him before, so how's the number on your phone? I mean, I'm not an expert in any of this, but it's just curious. How's the number on your phone?
Well, if you have somebody else's contact and then somehow it gets sucked in, it gets sucked in.
Was there someone else supposed to be on the chat that wasn't on the chat that you thought was
So the person that I thought was on there.
Bubba, you can't even feed a fish. He made any, y'all. Alright. The mic. Really?
whole business about the signal mistake. Meanwhile, the Houthi bombing was a great success. That's the most important thing. Joining us now, House members Claudia Tenney of New York, Kevin Hern of Oklahoma. Claudia, the Houthi bombing was an enormous success. The left doesn't want to talk about that. The liberal media doesn't want to talk about that. I wish you would talk about that. And Kevin Hern also. I mean, for heaven's sakes, what do they want? Biden wouldn't do this, and Trump did, and it was a great success.
Look, this is important, Larry. Look at Secretary Hegseth accidentally shared sensitive information that was, not classified, and they're calling for his resignation. General Milley shared classified information with the Communist Party of China, our greatest adversary, and they're calling him a hero. This is how ridiculous this is. There were successes with this, and it's obviously very important to stop the Houthis. So let's get on track and talk about the successes, not some mistakes that people make that, by the way, were not consequential in the end.
And Kevin Hern, President Trump today defended Mike Waltz, National Security Advisor, said, I'm not going to fire him. If you ever fired Waltz, then the left would go for every other scalp in the national security area. And that's why Trump is such a good politician.
Well, as my colleague was saying, if we started firing people, then Biden would have had his entire administration fired multiple times over. The fact of the matter is President Trump's looking into this. He's going to make a decision. I have every confidence he'll make the right decisions to move forward. The bottom line is, as you just stated, we went in and sent the message to the Houthis, more importantly to the Iranians, that we're not going to tolerate this firing on the American carrier group again. Some 100-plus drone and missile attacks. Anywhere else in past history, that would be a declaration of war when you're firing on a military asset of the United States of America. President Trump sent a message, a final warning to Iran to knock it off. So we're going to see what happens. But again, he's spoken. We're going to see if the
Today, we're going to talk about why I'm selling gold and what I'm doing with the proceeds. At the end of this video, I'm going to talk about 4 trades that I think are worthy of your consideration if you do decide to reduce some of your holdings. But first, a little bit of history. Let's get started. Back in December of 2023, I recommended that people start keeping an eye on gold because there was an 8-year cycle. If there's one link you click on after watching this video, it's this one because it really is an important cycle for us to understand for the longer term outlook for gold. Now, March of 24, just about 3 or 4 months after recording that video, I noted that gold had indeed broken out from a long-term base. And I suggested at the time that value trend was starting to move into the metal. Here's the chart. So we can look at the long base that gold had been in, had been trapped at just under 2,000 for many, many years. And then March of 24, I noted this breakout on the video. And what I suggested is that a long base like this represents a massive opportunity on gold, and value trend was beginning to leg in. Now, for the principle of how to leg into a stock or any position, I recommend you take my online trading course. The online trading course talks about how to recognize a breakout, how to leg in, what percentage of your portfolio you should move in, and what are the signals to make your incremental gain or buys into any stock, sector, or market as you see the breakout occur. So I recommend you do that, but we were on the video talking about that, and as you know, the rest is history. The market went from around 21 to around 3,000. In my books, that's a 50% gain, not too bad. Another video that I produced was about a year later, December of 24. Not too long ago from me recording this video, it's about 4 months ago. And in December of 24, Bitcoin had hit $100,000. And I suggested on the video that there is a negative correlation, a negative relationship between Bitcoin and gold. When one is moving up, the other one could be moving down or flat. And the signal was flashing that we were about to see a move negatively for Bitcoin and a
What are you talking about? What you talking about? Like I said, people want to say my name on these blogs, bro. I'm gonna correct you, homie. Yeah, I'm gonna address everything and everyone. What you talking about? You keep speaking my name like it's some kind of game over here, homie. Is anything sweet over here? Do I look like a sugary little plum to you? Huh? Do I got a sign on me on my forehead that says "Say my name"? Say my name. Am I? Oh, anyone's gonna go to a buffet? Oh my goodness! I better hightail it over there. I mean, what world is this dude living in? Are you serious right now, bro? Like, you're serious, bro. That makes sense to you, bro. You're mine. Boy, they need to figure out what the hell that guy on, man.
Oh, shit, nigga.
Straight up. He's still far from reality. It's unbelievable. They think I care still, right? See, they still on that nonsense. They think that I care what they feel. Like, bro, you're all literally delusional. You make no coherent sense at all. I don't care. It's all fake. Here's my issue. You want to sit there and you want to act like you a friend or something. How in the hell, after all the things that you said and the pictures you put up and the memes and all the vile things you said towards me online and that you sponsored and been a part of, then the criminal acts you've done towards me were all ducking me and avoiding me and hiding from me. How in the hell are we friends? Can you please explain that there for me, Bruce? Huh? Come on, bro. Everybody knows what it is now. Streets talk.
Friends.
Yeah,
Everybody knows what it is
now. Just like all these people down here, they're still sitting there acting about me. So you don't make music. We gave you that opportunity, James. You dropped the ball on that. So what are you talking about? Meet up to eat for what? Bro, that's not even what we talked about when you were acting fake on all these shows. In Christmas stuff, that's all you do is invite yourself.
Bunch of pussies. They're all pussies, all of them.
Everywhere we go, there's a curse here. It's on me.
All of them are bitches, all of them are pussies.
So one of the things I love is when conservatives accidentally tell the truth. They say the thing that they would normally say behind closed doors, and they get a little too comfortable, a little too cocky. They say it in front of the cameras, and then I don't know if he had that moment where he realized, he shouldn't have said that. But he should have. So here's Peter Thiel. Now, take a look at him. This guy terrifies me. This guy looks like a vampire. He looks like he's wearing a skin suit. Normally, he looks like he's wearing makeup here, but normally his skin is so oily that he looks like a vampire who just finished sucking the blood of a baby backstage. He is a MAGA billionaire, and this clip here really says it all, right? Because for the longest time, you all know, the right and MAGA, they've all stood up and said, bro, we're pro-worker, we're anti-elite, we're anti-establishment, bro. So, like, this is where regular people belong. This is where working people belong in our movement. We've heard that a lot, right? Well, here's a MAGA billionaire who accidentally tells the truth. What he really thinks of you. And as you listen to this thing, think, where would working people fit in a movement that includes this guy? Here we go.
Obama was Harvard Law. I think Kerry was Harvard undergrad. And there was some way, the Democratic Party used to be more elite. And then when Biden said he was a transitional candidate, it wasn't a transition. He was not going to have a sex change operation, but it was transitional from smart to dumb, from elite to very non-elite, and then Kamala was even Howard was not Harvard. You couldn't even point this out. It's probably a racist thing to say or something. And then by the time you get to Walz, it's way worse. The credentials are even dumber than Kamala's. There are no smart people left.
I can't believe he said these things out loud. I can't believe he didn't realize how this comes across. This is an astonishing clip. This is like elitist credentialism defined. Have you ever seen anything this elitist in your... Please, did you know that the Democratic candidates didn't even go to Harvard? Yes. Yes. Do you have any bread coupons? Bro. Thank you. Sincerely, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope there are some people in my audience who are MAGA. I really hope you're out there. Because what he's doing here, he's being honest. He looks down on you if you didn't go to an Ivy League school. He looks down on you if you don't have at least millions of dollars. He thinks you're a bad person. He thinks you have a poor work ethic. He thinks you're unintelligent. If you don't have multi-millions or billions, and if you didn't go to an Ivy League college, he thinks you're a peasant. You should be a corporate slave. You should be underneath him. If he's being honest, he would say, I'm not here for these people to have the right to vote. You should probably have to own a certain amount of property or have a certain net worth in order to be able to vote. He's letting it all hang out, bro. He's letting it all hang out. And the reality is, this more closely represents what MAGA actually is versus the facade they put out there about, working class party and anti-establishment and stuff like that. Really? If they're a working class party, why was his number one accomplishment in his first term a massive tax cut for the top 1% in corporations? 83% of the benefits of his tax cut bill in the first term went to the top 1%. 83%. His new bill is even worse. When you take into account all of his economic policies this time around, it is a net tax increase on the bottom 95% of Americans, and it only cuts it for the top 5% of Americans. This is what you need to understand. They want to destroy Medicare, destroy Medicaid, destroy Social Security, raise taxes on working people, so you have no social safety net whatsoever, and your taxes also go up. And the whole point is to let the robber barons loot the treasury. Give Peter Thiel more money. Did you know Peter Thiel, this guy who you just listened to, he wants to make a libertarian paradise out of Greenland. And Trump picked as his ambassador to Greenland an acolyte of Peter Thiel. And at the time when he picked him, somebody tweeted, "It's all going to plan." Why? He wants to steal Greenland for Peter Thiel. He wants the mineral wealth to go to Elon Musk, and he wants the island itself to be Peter Thiel's libertarian experiment. We literally have billionaires who are warmongering to steal entire territories for themselves, for their own ideological project, their own hyper-capitalist project. Profit, money, power, control. This is what they're doing, this is who they are, and this is what they think of you. I'll flip this right back on its head. I love the fact that you say, the Democratic Party is getting more like normal people who didn't go to Ivy League colleges. I say, fuck yes. I want way more working people with power. Why? Because they understand what it's like to not be able to pay the bills. They understand what it's like to go bankrupt because they can't afford their medical bills. They understand what it's like to have $120,000 in student loan debt and understand how exploitative and horrendous this system is that we've set up. I want somebody who's experienced it, who knows, who can relate. So that, for example, what did the other MAGA billionaire say? Lutnick. He was like, look, if my mom, 94 years old, missed her Social Security check, she wouldn't complain. Because the people who call and complain, they're most likely to be the con artists and the fraudsters. Excuse you? Only in smug, out-of-touch, arrogant elitist could ever say something like that. Ever. Because the reality is the people who will call and complain are the ones who need the money to pay the fucking light bill and put food on the table and not be homeless at age 82. They're so out of touch. They're so out of touch. They're going to destroy this country, bro. This is a robber baron coup. This is a fascist takeover and a robber baron coup. And this guy is one of the ideological thought leaders. He donated a tremendous amount of money to Donald Trump. Trump's going to try to get him Greenland. Guys like this control the economic policy, and they hate you. They despise you. They want you to think the problem in this country is immigrants and trans people. They're not the problem. They're our brothers and sisters. They're in the same boat as us. We're all in the same boat because we're not the top 1%. Here's the top 1% telling you what he thinks of you. In fact, he's top 0.001%. That's who he is. He's the problem. He's the problem. The corruption, the bribery, the money in politics, the oligarchs, the billionaires, the robber barons, they want all the money, all the power, all the control, and they want you to know your fucking role in society. Shut the fuck up, be a service sector worker, don't make enough money to survive, but don't complain too much. Maybe I'll let you live if you serve me and wipe my ass when I become 84 years old and I can't move and I'm bedridden. Right? You're the help. You're the help. Please, you don't even go to Harvard. The credentials are so poor. My dear. Oh my god. I can't say the thing I'm thinking right now because it might get me banned from YouTube, but I'll let you try to read my mind. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications. All right, guys. So yesterday we talked about how Alex Jones turned Elon Musk meat riding into an Olympic sport. He was basically doing a free ad for the Tesla Cybertruck, and he was promoting his own bullshit as well, and saying, "We love freedom. We're the good guys, and they're the bad guys," and that's pretty much the end of it. It was just an embarrassing video. Joe Rogan, not to be outdone, is raising his level of Elon simpery to astronomical levels. And, man, he simps so hard for Elon here that his brain turns to dust. I mean, wait until you hear some of the points he makes. This is just... We need to invent a new word. Humiliating is not a strong enough word for this clip. Here we go.
The Tesla used to be the car that you drove to let everybody know that you were environmentally conscious and you were a good leftist.
It's a good question. Do we care about the environment or not? Because those fumes that are being kicked out of that's
like
not good.
1,000 jet airplanes flying overhead for a year.
Yep.
I love how they act like there are no other electric cars, right? They make it seem like they're catching the left in a hypocrisy burn, like, oh, I guess you don't care about climate change anymore because you don't like Tesla. Like, no, there's a whole bunch of different car manufacturers make electric vehicles now. They just don't like Tesla. Why? Gee, I wonder. Could it be because the world's richest man, Elon Musk, controls it, and he gave Donald Trump $270 million, and now he bought the government and is acting around it? Could that be a reason why they don't like it? I love how this... Like, again, the thing that attracted people to Rogan in the first place was a childlike curiosity, which was a very good characteristic, good trait for somebody to have. So you learn with him. Now he's literally become the least curious person on the planet, married to his ideas, in his fucking echo chamber, parroting the stupidest fucking talking points, straw-manning the left relentlessly, never presenting a fair argument of what the left thinks, and it manifests in clips like this, with his fucking phallic-ass cigar sitting there like a manly man. Oh, why don't the left like Tesla anymore, bro? They're so stupid, bro. Alright, we're just getting started.
You're lighting batteries on fire. They're so toxic.
Lithium and all sorts of shit getting pissed into the environment.
Oh, it's all going to come down in rain. It's going to pollute the water. The fish are going to be polluted. You're not going to be able to eat them.
We're doing good.
So he's talking about, oh, the protesters who are burning Teslas. Oh, they're hypocrites because, bro, it's really bad for pollution. It's really bad for the environment, bro. The stupid left is destroying the environment, bro. Did Joe Rogan say a fucking thing when Donald Trump dropped the lawsuit against Cancer Alley? The factories at Cancer Alley. There's a place in this country where they make, I believe it's Kevlar vests, and the chemicals that go out in the atmosphere give people cancer at a tremendous rate. And Biden was suing those factories so that they stop giving people cancer. And Trump comes in and he goes, no, we're dropping the lawsuit. We're pro-cancer. We're on the side of cancer. Did he say anything when Trump deregulated the PFAS, which are the forever chemicals which give people cancer? Remember at his speech to Congress, he virtue signaled, oh, the kid with cancer is a fan of mine, and we're going to make him a cop. And people like Rogan were like, oh, the left wouldn't even cheer for the kid with cancer. Maybe the fucking problem, Joe, is that Trump and Elon cut pediatric cancer research at the same time they virtue signal like they're against child cancer. They gave us more of it while pretending like they were against it. They gave us the forever chemicals while they're pretending they're protecting us from cancer. God, I hate this guy so much. Oh my god. Alright, I gotta keep... This is 3 minutes and 50 seconds. I don't know if I can get through all of it, but you gotta hit all the important points. Let's keep going.
This is for a righteous cause.
Yeah, it's all funded, too. It's funded by NGOs. That's where it gets really crazy.
The Tesla fires are funded by NGOs.
Yeah, people are uncovering exactly what's going on, and this is where it gets fascinating, because all this stuff is operated pretty much with impunity in the past, before Doge, before Elon and his crew of hyperspectrum psychopaths started to...
Fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Super wizards started diving into all this data. This is something that Ted Cruz talked about. He said we had always known that there was these problems, but until Elon came along with these algorithms, we couldn't expose them. We didn't understand what was going on. And now they've used AI to create this understanding of the net of NGOs that is all funded by USAID and by similar type programs.
He's saying, oh, all these protests at the Tesla dealerships and the vandalism that's happening at the Tesla dealerships, that's not organic. That is funded by NGOs like USAID. And I know because Ted Cruz was talking about it too. Joe, what the fuck happened to you, bro? First of all, I don't know if you've been keeping up, but USAID was just illegally destroyed. It's gone. It's done. It's over. Elon dismantled that bitch right in front of everybody's eyes, and then multiple courts were like, yeah, that's actually not legal, and you can't do that. And they were like, okay, great. And then they fucking left it as it is. Dismantled it, destroyed it. Even when court said you can't do that, they kept doing it. So the government agency, which Elon pummeled into oblivion, is responsible for funding the protests. I love the idea that, yeah, they cut off all the funding for all the medicine and stuff overseas and all these projects that they do. Elon cut the funding for USAID for that stuff. But he forgot to cut off the USAID funding that goes to Antifa burning down his own dealerships. How stupid are you? How stupid are you? And of course, by the way, Rogan has never once read anything which is contrary to what his viewpoint is, right? If he bothered to read anything about what happened with USAID, you'll find very quickly, for example, there was a whistleblower there who wrote a report and said after Trump and Elon did all their cuts, came out and said, here will be the result of these cuts, and listed in excruciating detail the number of people that will die from not getting their HIV medicine, the number of people who will die from not getting protection from malaria, the number of people who will die who won't get protection from this disease and this virus and this illness. As a direct result, it is like hundreds of thousands or literally millions of people who will die because of these USAID cuts. Rogan said fucking nothing about it. He doesn't look at Elon Musk like he looks at George Soros like, man, that's an evil billionaire doing evil shit. No, it's, the mega genius, the super genius, the wizard, bro. He's doing wizard stuff like killing hundreds of thousands of people overseas, bro. But can you imagine looking at these protests and thinking, no, they're not organic. There were literally over 100 anti-Tesla protests. Are you kidding? It's the most organic thing I've ever seen. Teslas are being vandalized across the country. Cybertrucks are being vandalized across the countries when they're not breaking on their own, by the way, which happens quite often. It's the most organic thing I've ever fucking seen.
You know, you kind of have these open-ended checks that get written to the other side. That's the top. Right, yeah, right there. How often smoke cigars, Phil?
A couple of times, but I fucking turned this around the wrong way. All right, no worries. Keep going.
But this is essentially the way Mike Benz describes it. He's the very best at it. I don't know if you've ever seen.
So this is a classic example of Rogan. Rogan gets sucked into the dumbest right-wing echo chamber propagandist idiots. And that guy Mike Benz is the type to be like, bro, I found $17 quadrillion going to Moroccan belly dancers, bro. We got it, bro. This is what the government funds. This is like 90% of the budget, bro. And Rogan's like, bro. And then he like spews it on his giant podcast. I'm so happy Midas Touch dethroned this guy. I'm so happy Midas Touch dethroned this guy. They got like double his views too last month. It's glorious. I hope they keep fucking growing that, because the fact that this is one of the top podcasts in the world, it's like literally just injecting misinformation right into your veins. Just poisoning the minds of a whole generation of young men who won't know fucking dick about dick. But they think they do, because they listen to the guy who takes Alpha Brain and does cold plunges in the morning.
His breakdowns of USAID.
I love his episodes on it.
Incredible.
That's so interesting.
They're so interesting, because you realize like this has been going on forever and ever and ever. And this is the arm of the government that is about regime change. A lot of the money gets funneled into these other countries, and it's under the guise of, you know, air quotes aid, but it's not aid. It's Agency for International Development, and it's all about influence and power all throughout the world, and also at home. And one of the things that it doesn't.
By the way, can we just point out the irony of him being like, bro, this nefarious USAID thing? They use it for like regime change and stuff, bro. It's really fucked up. Meanwhile, has he said a word of disagreement when Trump openly warmongers and says, we're going to steal Panama, we're going to steal Greenland, we're going to bully Denmark to give us Greenland, we're going to make Canada the 51st state. If they don't agree, we'll steal some of their territory and redraw the border.
Have you ever stopped to think about how much free storage Google is just giving out? Every time you sign up for a Gmail account, they give you 15 gigabytes of it completely for free. It doesn't sound like a lot until you realize there's almost 2 billion people with this 15 gigabytes of free storage, which means Google is now maintaining 30 billion gigabytes of storage free of charge to the world. And having to handle that and YouTube and Google Photos and everything else, has Google almost ever ran out of space? Is it? Yes. In the early days, Google relied on the Google File System, or GFS, one of its first large-scale storage solutions. GFS was designed to handle massive files, often several gigabytes or even terabytes in size, by distributing them across multiple machines. It was optimized for large read and write operations and built with fault tolerance in mind. But as Google's data needs skyrocketed, GFS eventually hit its limits. Enter Colossus, the next generation file system that took over where GFS left off, bringing improved scalability and efficiency. Alongside Colossus, Bigtable was introduced, Google's powerful distributed database system designed to handle structured data at an enormous scale. Together, these two systems became the backbone of Google's storage and infrastructure. However, not all data fits neatly into these systems. For more transactional and relational workloads, Google turned to Cloud Spanner. Cloud Spanner plays a critical role in handling a significant portion of Google's cloud-based storage, ensuring high availability and consistency across the globe. How Google stores this virtually unlimited amount of data onto Cloud Spanner is complicated, so hold on to your hats. Cloud Spanner is a globally distributed, strongly consistent, and relational database that combines the scalability of NoSQL systems with the transactional guarantees of traditional SQL databases. It replicates data across multiple geographically dispersed data centers using synchronous replication protocols, ensuring high availability and fault tolerance. At its core lies the TrueTime API, a globally synchronized clock to provide bounded time uncertainty. This mechanism allows Cloud Spanner to order transactions accurately across distributed nodes and maintain external consistency. Google's storage system doesn't just throw data into a single repository. Instead, it partitions data into smaller units called splits, which are distributed across servers in a shared architecture. This approach ensures load balancing and enables horizontal scalability, allowing Google to efficiently manage vast amounts of data. However, handling transactions across multiple distributed servers presents significant challenges. In a distributed system, data is spread across numerous nodes, often located in different regions. When multiple transactions occur simultaneously, making sure that each one is executed in the correct order without conflicts becomes increasingly difficult. Inconsistencies can arise if one server processes a write operation while another reads outdated data, leading to race conditions, lost updates, or write skew. This is where Cloud Spanner comes in. It uses a two-phase commit protocol combined with multi-version concurrency control, or MVCC, to enforce ACID properties, ensuring reliability and consistency at a global scale. A transaction in Cloud Spanner is atomic, meaning it either executes completely or is fully rolled back. There's no partial execution that could leave the system in an inconsistent state. These transactions are isolated, preventing concurrent operations from interfering with each other, and once committed, they persist even in the event of a system failure. Using Google's TrueTime API, Google can synchronize operations across data centers worldwide. This guarantees external consistency, where transactions are executed in a globally consistent order, preventing anomalies such as write skew. By integrating sharding, strong consistency, and global distribution, Cloud Spanner provides a scalable, fault-tolerant, and high-performance relational database solution, capable of handling Google's immense data workloads while maintaining strict transactional guarantees. And that's why Google relies on it. Because when you're running a system that needs to process billions of transactions across the world, you can't afford to have things breaking left and right. But this doesn't explain all the data Google has to pull in real time, like with its two biggest functions, Google Maps and Google Search. Speaking of, thanks so much for all the support on the channel lately. It really means a lot, and I want to give something back to you guys. So do you need a job? That sounded a bit weird. But whether you're a UX designer, app developer, freelancer, or just a curious viewer, I want to get to know you guys, share some UX and UI tips, and maybe even get a gig. So I made a Discord channel for us and want to make this the place to be for front-end professionals. And I'm having talks with people to get some employers in there so you can connect with them too and find some jobs in the future. I'm really excited to get this thing started, so I hope you'll join me. While Cloud Spanner manages globally distributed nodes, Google Maps and Google Search require a distinct architecture to handle real-time data ingestion and synchronization. For these high-demand systems, Google uses robust messaging frameworks such as Apache Kafka and Google Cloud Pub or Sub. Apache Kafka is a distributed streaming platform designed for real-time event processing. It decouples data producers from consumers by employing a publish-subscribe model backed by a durable, partitioned, and replicated log. This log-based approach enables efficient event replay and stateful stream processing, ensuring that large volumes of events, ranging from user queries to dynamic location updates, are processed with minimal latency. In parallel, Google Cloud Pub or Sub serves as a globally scalable messaging service that facilitates asynchronous communication among microservices. It supports flexible delivery semantics, including at least once and exactly once processing, to guarantee reliable event propagation. Together, these frameworks empower Google's systems to ingest, distribute, and synchronize real-time data across multiple regions, ensuring rapid updates and maintaining high system responsiveness even under significant load. This intricate orchestration of streaming technologies is vital for sustaining the dynamic and interactive nature of Google's core services. These sophisticated real-time pipelines are crucial for maintaining the responsiveness and scalability of global applications. At the heart of this processing architecture lies MapReduce, a fault-tolerant distributed computing paradigm designed for massive data analytics. MapReduce decomposes vast data sets into discrete, manageable tasks via a map function, which is executed in parallel across a cluster's nodes. Each node processes its partition of the data independently, producing intermediate key value pairs that are then shuffled and aggregated by a reduce function. This multi-stage process not only ensures parallelism and load balancing, but also optimizes resource utilization and minimizes network bottlenecks. Together, Cloud Spanner's robust storage capabilities and MapReduce's scalable parallel processing framework form the backbone of Google's data processing ecosystem, empowering the company to deliver real-time, data-driven insights at global scale. Building on the sophisticated real-time messaging and processing frameworks, the cumulative data generated by Google's services was just too much for Google to handle. Every search query, email, YouTube view, and navigation request is logged, processed, and stored, contributing to an exponentially growing digital footprint. For instance, in 2020 alone, Google's infrastructure handled over 40,000 search queries per second through a highly optimized distributed system that minimizes latency and maximizes throughput. With the rise of AI models that generate massive volumes of data and users uploading an estimated 720,000 hours of YouTube content daily, the volume of information rapidly escalates, pressuring storage architectures to scale further. From a technical perspective, the data generated is funneled through intricate pipelines involving distributed file systems, shared databases, and robust indexing algorithms that ensure swift retrieval and real-time analysis. Each data center in Google's global network, now exceeding 20 facilities, employs advanced cooling, high-speed interconnects, and redundant systems to guarantee fault tolerance and continuous operation. These facilities represent billions in capital expenditures, or CapEx, with operational costs continually rising to meet the demands of such massive data ingestion and processing. The finances are something else entirely. Google's business model, which underpins free services like Gmail, Google Photos, and Google Drive through advertising revenue and paid tiers, is increasingly strained by these infrastructure demands. Historically, Google Photos offered unlimited free storage, but in 2021, this policy was revised as the sheer volume of user-generated content, images, selfies, screenshots, and videos, became unsustainable. The same trend now affects Google Drive and Gmail, where unlimited storage has given way to tiered storage.
Hello, everyone. I'm Major Garrett in Washington. Tonight on America Decides, what is the signal and what is the noise? A journalist mistakenly received Trump administration war plans in advance of an attack on Houthis in Yemen. This stunning security lapse coming his way on an unsecured commercial app known as Signal. Was the information classified? Were laws broken? Could this lead to a shakeup within Trump's national security team? Among those texting about the secret plans, including, quote, operational details, unquote, were National Security Advisor Mike Waltz and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
Nobody was texting war plans, and that's all I have to say about that.
I inadvertently discovered a massive security breach in the way the national security establishment conducts its business.
It was not great timing for the Trump administration, but it was pretty good timing for all those with questions about this snafu. Today, top intelligence officials held their annual Senate hearing on worldwide threats, and there, Democrats took the opportunity to push for more answers on this whole war plans chat group, while Republicans worked as best they were able to minimize the damage.
This is one more example of the kind of sloppy, careless, incompetent behavior, particularly towards classified information.
See, not a good thing. Again, it'll be up to the president to see how he wants to handle it. I'm sure it's some mistake that's been corrected right now.
So many other questions. Had there been warnings, for example, from allies, from tech firms, and even from within the Pentagon about the dangers of using Signal to discuss any sensitive information or plans? And how about those U.S. military raids against Houthi targets? Were they a success? The White House says unequivocally yes and adds that's all that really matters. But who are the Houthis? What are they doing? And will this aggressive new Trump-era military campaign against them reopen shipping or increase the risk of a wider Middle Eastern war? Our goal in the next hour, sort out as much of this as possible. And of course, we will have the deluge of reaction from Capitol Hill. And remind
YouTube has made a lot of terrible updates to the platform over the years, but a few people out there have actually managed to turn this rotting dumpster fire into a viable game engine. So let me show you what I'm talking about. You probably already knew that YouTube has captions. You can click this button right here to turn on either auto-generated captions or captions that someone has manually put onto a video. But did you know that you can actually move these captions around on the screen? Well, you can. YouTube basically creates an invisible box within the video so that you can freely move the caption box around in with your mouse, or you can move it by tapping and then dragging on a touch screen. And I think the intended purpose of this feature is to let you move the text box out of the way in case something important in the video is being blocked by it. Or I could imagine some scenarios where maybe someone is showing a YouTube video on a projector or a widescreen TV, and then people in the back of, say, a classroom might not be able to see the captions that are usually on the bottom, so then you move them up to the top of the screen so that people can see them. But if you apply some creativity to this YouTube caption feature, like Fiorama did, then you can actually create a variety of games. So I'm going to go ahead and link their channel below so that you can check all of these out, but we're just going to go through a couple of these. So this video right here is a survival game with lasers. And like it says right here, play on PC, so I'm not actually 100% sure if you're able to play this particular one on mobile or tablet. So it tells you to pause and enable captions. And I already have captions enabled, so you're able to see this blue box. If I disable captions, you can't see it. So essentially, that blue box is a caption window. And of course, I can drag the blue box around. It looks like this is pretty much the hard limit of where I can move it to. It looks like the captions on my other video I was able to not move around as much. So maybe there's some setting within YouTube videos that you can change it. I personally haven't used any manual captions on my videos. I've just used the auto-generated ones. But for as far as the game is concerned, we're supposed to keep it inside of, I think, this white square here. So I think the idea is supposed to be that we're not supposed to touch white. Yeah, it just said here, restart if it touches white, and then we have to watch out for these lasers. So I guess we can touch the red part of the lasers, but when it creates that white beam, we're not supposed to be able to touch that. And of course, you could pause the video. That's another thing too, where maybe this is technically cheating. So I guess you have to be careful not to accidentally cheat or not to cheat on purpose. It's playing some kind of background music. It could be possible that it is an auto-generated caption that's just saying music but is somehow modified to be a blue box. I'm not actually sure how you're able to do this, but I thought it was a really interesting thing. So obviously YouTube did not intend for this caption feature to be used this way. Oh, I think I'm going to get crushed. It's weird. The box kind of snaps up if I let go of it. Or it does towards the bottom. Yeah, like if I click down here and then let it go, it slides back up for some reason. I'm not sure what it's about. So this thing stopped rotating. Oh, it looks like I'm on the good side. And kind of just chill out, don't got to worry about that white box trying to go for me. Now the thing is, all this stuff in the background is actually part of the video. So like if you play this game, it's basically going to be the same thing over and over again. So you could remember the patterns and get really good at it. Like I've only played this one time through before recording. And then this part, you have to control 2 independent text boxes and try to keep them inside of the yellow and make sure they don't get hit by the laser or get hit by this. So yeah, you pretty much get the idea of this game. Here's another game that was made just a couple of weeks ago, which is an interactive maze. So again, you're able to move this caption box around freely with your mouse, but this is also a 360 video. So you can move the field of view around with the WASD or the arrow keys. And you can also move it around by clicking in the video itself. So like if you click outside of the hitbox, which I think is this whole thing, yeah, it's kind of outlined with the little white line here. So you click outside of that and it actually moves like the whole map around. So this is going to be quite a bit more difficult because like you can move the box.
Massive beneath the Great Pyramid of Giza. Here's what they found.
Guys, do you hear that fucking bass drop? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing some a little bit of debunking, a little bit of deep diving into a topic that I've seen, for the last couple days. All right. Now you've all seen me upload videos about aliens and conspiracy theories and things like that, but I like to be somebody that goes beyond just looking at a TikTok video like this and going, "Whoa, this is crazy awesome." Now, I'm somebody that loves to look at that weird side of the world, okay? There's parts of me that wishes every day that aliens would be real, okay? If somebody could prove to me 100% the Earth would be flat, I wouldn't even be mad, okay? I would just be like, you know what? I learned something new. Cool. But generally speaking, I try to get to the truth of every fact that is provided in the entire world of the internet. And, I'm not here to poo on anyone's parade. But I just want to see, are there actually underground cities in the pyramids of Giza? Now, you've probably been seeing this kind of like trend around on the internet. Like if you just looked up the words pyramids right now, for instance, you'd probably read posts like, scientists say they use new tech to find vast city beneath the pyramids. Egyptian archaeologist dispels the claims of city underneath pyramids. So for anybody watching that has no idea what the pyramids of Giza are, this is the actual location. They're located in Egypt, okay, ladies and gentlemen. So you've got the pyramids right over here. You've got the Pyramid of Khafre, which is what we're going to be looking at more closely. The Pyramid of Menkaure, and again, I don't exactly recognize the name of this one, but it's certainly not the Pyramid of Giza. But just off the bat, why are there like 4 driving schools in one area? Anyways, not the point of this. Now, one of the questions that people always ask is, how did we make this? Was it aliens? Was it slavery, most likely? Was it maybe something else back in the day? What is it? Was it a super advanced alien civilization from back then? Now, ladies and gentlemen, there have been a lot of people trying to assume how this is being made, and there are actual write-ups. This is from the University of Florida, for instance, where they kind of talk about, again, the building of these pyramid structures. And just to give you the quick TLDR in this, they've basically shown that with rather primitive technology available to ancient Egyptians, the construction of pyramids was quite feasible without outside help, and was accomplished with the use of only ropes, copper tools, sleds, levers, and inclined planes, and of course an almost unlimited supply of Egyptian slavery. There is no need to postulate the need for help from Atlanteans or other nonsense, such as aid from extraterrestrials. Now again, it's up to you to believe this, but from my understanding and research, the construction of the pyramids and the ambiguity around them is mostly due to the fact that there's probably a lot of ways that it could have been achieved. It's just that nobody can really identify what the exact methodology was. Remember, anthropology is a serious study of former human civilization, or rather the study or development of human societies and cultures. Look, things that have happened thousands of years ago, we really don't have a great grasp on, right? It's really only the last 1% of our lifetime, less than that even, that we've actually really cataloged and kept hold of ourselves, right? So understanding our past is something we're still really much trying to do. It's an entire field of study. But I wanted to, again, assert this right here. As much as I would love for there to be ancient aliens, okay, sometimes you have to just come back to reality land and deal with actual facts and research. Now, a couple days ago, Joe Rogan was actually showing an entire video and talking about this on his podcast. And, sometimes I'll flip on the old Joe Rogan Experience just to read about aliens and shit like that. And, when I was watching this, he kind of was, watching this with his guest, obviously. This one video that was floating around on, Twitter or whatever, right? And obviously, I wanted to, deep dive into it. And obviously, this started trending to the point where, multiple other channels were producing these videos. This is one channel, Casper Site, that was focusing on this as well, looking at various amounts of people on TikTok covering this entire scenario. And again, this is an incredibly popular topic that, just basically came out of nowhere the last couple days. I mean, dude, I love TikTok. You can just go on here right now and just see a whole bunch of these underground city TikToks. So many of them have just complete AI slop thrown into it, dude. Energy machine under the... if you're somebody that enjoys discovering conspiracy theories like this, I think TikTok might be the greatest platform for you. Honestly, that's really all I have to say about it. So, all right, where did this, research and imagery come from, okay? So, again, one actual article posted March 22nd, 2025, Egypt's Giza Pyramids mystery deepens. Radar finds underground structures twice as deep as the Eiffel Tower, stretching across 2 kilometers. Okay. All right, what happened over here? Scientists have discovered a large underground structure near the pyramids of Giza using radar technology. So here they got researchers, Corrado Malanga from the University of Pisa and Filippo Biondi from the University of Strathclyde used synthetic aperture radar to scan the area. Okay, so that's the technology they're using. Their findings reveal a network extending approximately 2 kilometers beneath all 3 pyramids. So really what they said over here was the Khafre Pyramid, so the second largest structure right there, was found to have 5 identical structures near its base. These structures contained multiple levels and were connected by geometric pathways. Beneath these pathways, 8 vertical cylindrical wells were discovered. Each well was surrounded by descending spiral pathway reaching depths of up to 648 meters. So this is the video that I guess Joe was watching on his entire page by Greg Reese. Okay, so a SAR scan of the Khafre Pyramid. So this I guess is one of the sources, right? Oh wow, we start off with some real good starts off with a banger of a soundtrack, that's for sure. So I'm looking through this and it's just again, an actual organization of people meeting up. They're actually having this real I guess event where they're discussing the findings over here, right? And again, the further you go down, this is where some of those images started popping up. So for instance, these are the cylindrical wells that are allegedly found underneath the pyramids of Giza. And again, at the end of it, they start to like link this to like Nikola Tesla and like Egyptian pyramids, which again references books like The Giza Power Plant by Christopher Dunn, which again is more focusing on like esoteric conspiracy theories than anything actually proven in science over here. So at this point, I'm like, all right, they showed this right over here, this remote sensing MDPI article right here. So, okay, this has got to be crazy. It's got to be some new information. So again, the basic fact checker in me will take that entire title and I will search for it on the internet. And lo and behold, here we are. Synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomography reveals details of undiscovered high-resolution internal structure of the Great Pyramids of Giza. Okay, so you got Filippo Bianchi and Corrado Malanga. Okay, so you've got all this shit right here. And then, of course, you start to look closer into this. Published 19th October 2022. So this is not new information. This is like fucking 3 years old. All right, let's pull out the PDF. Okay, roll the clip, Jamie. Let's look at it. So right here, you've got the actual post, 1st August 2022. All right, introduction. The Pyramid of Khnum-Khufu, also known as the Great Pyramid of Giza. Let me open this up so you guys can read it a little bit better. So is the oldest and largest of the three main pyramids. Okay, the infrastructure is built with blocks of granite. The completion of the work has taken 2.5 million blocks. So in studying the origin of the pyramids, we believe we should not overlook the existence of ancient mythological writings, a study concerning the myths and folklores of the ancient people of the world, okay, highlighting all the similarities between them. The arguments that myths are insignificant, often considered mere stories passed on through generations, has been challenged. The authors are open to the possibility that a technologically more advanced civilization existed before a known timeline, where the existence of various glacial ages prevented the passing down of history, focusing on the mythical cities mentioned in ancient Indian texts describing how the
We lost $10,000 day trading crypto, and I'm very happy about that. I'm very proud of that. Very happy about that. Here's why I'm happy about it, okay? Look at this, look. See this? This is how you know I'm not lying. Look how much money I lost. What you said, how much money? Damn. Oh, shit. Damn. Still got all my hair, though. I'm happy that I lost it because I learned a lot. Because for me, there's a lot of trading strategies that I wanted to implement, and implementing those trading strategies, I lost a lot of money. I'm happy that I lost all that money because you got to go through that loss to learn. That's what I'm saying. You lose to learn, right? So I lost literally everything I put in there, and I ain't gonna lie, it was an emotional roller coaster. Like very frustrated, very, very frustrated. Like, oh my gosh, couldn't sleep, all types of stuff. Like really frustrated, and was doing a lot of learning. And you know what's crazy? I was learning from a lot of traders, and they were telling me stuff that was wrong. That's the crazy part. A lot of these people that you're gonna learn from about trading, they gonna tell you a lot of bullshit. Oh, you should do this, trade like this. You really gotta study, like, be on point. That was my other issue. Like, I wouldn't be on point with it as much too. I was going through a lot because I am a YouTuber and a TikToker, so I record videos and do all that stuff too, right? While doing that, I'm trading and I'm not giving it 100% of my focus, so it would move and stuff. I would pull out, right? Pulling out all the time. Taxes. Every time you pull out, it's taxes. Yo, you know what? I need to pull out. That you want to say negative 100. Pull out. Now my trading strategy is you don't pull out. Warren Buffett. You don't get out. You never miss out on anything. FOMO is a big thing in trading. I lost money because of FOMO. Like, oh, I'm going to miss out. Buy in right now. Technical analysis. The triangle. I had to learn all that stuff because I couldn't knock it till I tried it. And I didn't want to be like, well, I can't say it don't work till I try it. I tried it. And it didn't work, and I lost money. We keep our money in there. I didn't pull out. Yeah, did I be pulling out? Pull out, quick, pull out. Oh man, revenge trading. I gotta get back in there. I lost $30. Okay, well I can get 60. You know, trying to get quick cash and all that stuff. That stuff. That ain't it. What did you say? A bowl. That cool? You know what I understood about losing this type of money? I'm in a good position because millionaires lose thousands. Billionaires lose millions. They lose money all the time. You think they keep all their money? That doesn't even make sense. Get it? Makes sense? You're risking your money. You're going to lose your money. So losing is a part of the process. So take it in with your chest. You losing that type of money, you a KING. I can lose thousands of dollars and I won't break a sweat. If you were losing that type of money, how would you feel? You'd be like, oh shit. You'd be like, oh shit. I'm not like, oh shit. I'm good, man. We can come back again and again and again. And that's how I learned. Trading is not just about money. It's about it's a mental upgrade. You're going to another level mentally. You're like studying yourself. I want more. You already made $30. I want more. You good. You could pull it out. No, I want more money. You want to stay like greedy. Be grateful. This is what I'm talking about. Now I'm super grateful. I'm grateful for a little amount. So when I trade, I make a little bit of money. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't even day trade no more. But I'm gonna get back into it. But I'm gonna day trade with a little bit of money. And also, I know how to move to not lose that much money now. Because that is I learned from my mistakes. I didn't keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting different. I don't do that. Rihanna, she didn't even want me to do it. She was like, I just want you to put all that money. But I can make sure we lost it. Seriously, that's cool. Because we can get it back tenfold. That's what I'm trying to say. We can do it again. We will do it again. And also, we're not going to be stressing about it emotionally like we did the first time. I'm going to do this again. When I go trade again, I'm going to lose money again. But we're not going to go about it like we did the first time. The first time, I'm tripping. I'm like, yo, I lost this money. Stress. Ding, stress. I'm digging this hole wide. I'm making this hole big, wide, open. I'm making the hole big and thick. You got to get out that hole, man. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, what you said? I was digging this hole wide and deep. It was deep. What did you say? Going in that hole. Like, stop digging yourself in that hole, man. Love yourself. You fail, it's okay. It's like day trading. Especially day trading is like in your face. You don't love yourself. You're tripping. You don't have emotional intelligence. When I trade, I have emotional intelligence now. Because trading taught me to be a better person. You are going to lose money when you invest. It's going to happen. Accept it and get ready for it and be prepared for it. Don't get caught last in trading. You're going to lose money when you invest. You're going to lose money when you risk your money like that. It's going to happen. Fall in love with it. Don't be upset. It's going to happen. You got her service. I'm a reporter. I had the video. We're going to get the bread back up. And we're going to put the money back into crypto. We still have money in there. Because technically I didn't lose it all for now. We do have $1,000 left. So that's invested in. And we are losing money. It's down. But eventually it's just unrealized profit. And they don't tax you on it. They keep them. Not that they keep it though. Okay? So this is what I'm saying. Okay? You only get taxed when you pull it out. You pull it out because it's not unrealized. You realize it now. Since you realize it, they got you with the cash. You don't give up. Right there, you don't give up. You should give up. That's that. You don't do that. You don't give up. We keep going until we get what we want. That's LLEST. And also take small profits. Stop being greedy. Greedy as shit. You got $30. You know how long it take that? I bust my ass at the job. I go work at the job for an hour and get 15, but you gonna bitch about $30 in 5 minutes? A little bit. Now I know Trump got the shit going down right now to the tariffs. So I could have shorted the shit. But you can get money double. You can short your shit and you can call your shit. I don't know if it's called tall, but I just came up with it. You can get money going up or down. It's really exciting. Never gonna give up on investments. Never gonna give up on trading. Never gonna give up on that. Stocks is the way to go if you really want to. It's like fucking money for crypto. It's like really volatile. But that's what I love about crypto. They can go up and down, up, then my money be going. It's like if I would have traded the first way, man, 10 grand would have went to 20. 20 would have went to 5. 5 would have went to 30. It just go up, down. It's stupid. Now it's going down right now to the ground. It's going to go up too. Right now it's an opportunity to buy. People, FOMO, I don't want to miss out. That's why it go up. It's simple. A lot of other people messing me up too. That's other people they telling me, oh, it's going to go up, man. It's going to go up. And it didn't go up. That's just stuff like that. Like Squid Game, remember taking balls. Taking losses like a chance. Financial losses like a chance. That's the difference between being poor and rich. Appreciate y'all for watching us and following us and supporting us. We ain't gonna be homeless again. Oh no, we ain't going back. If I was a day trade now, I could really be. I really could. I'm telling you, I'll be like the best trader ever. Let's see. I would be the best trader ever. If I was in trade right now, I would make a lot of money. You don't want me to trade. Did you? Why? What? Because you didn't want to lose money? You didn't want to lose money? Yeah. Of course, you don't have to risk your money, but if you don't risk your money, it ain't gonna go nowhere.
That I don't have them to risk. I don't know if it's the same word, if it's two different meanings, or if it's two different words.
You come from the bottom, the gutter. I'm trying to get butter. I'm trying to get butter because we come from the gutter. So if I'm trying to get butter, real butter is being invested in bread. So I'm not trying to be homeless again. Like, I was already homeless. I don't want to ever be homeless again in my life. So do everything you can to not be homeless. That make it in your life. Invest your money. And we already took risks by being homeless. So why not take risks with your money? Doesn't that make sense? Does that not make sense? Risk your money. If you got $1,000 right now, risk that shit. I wouldn't even be mad if you went to the casino, bro. I have respect for you if you went to the casino. You don't think so? You don't think your money should be risked? Like, I'll go steal. You sitting letting your money be stagnant? It's not moving. Your money not moving? That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't understand that.
And also, it would be different if we weren't doing day trading too. If we just put our money in there and just left it, and that's kind of like how we invested, right? That would have been better. And we could do like 6%.
There you go.
It's not
yeah. So you heard. There was a lot of stuff that you was even thinking. You was like, oh, we should have this, remember? Then we did it. Lost money. Okay.
Don't listen to what leaders say. Watch what they do. Unless the leaders are communicating via private text. But they have accidentally added a reporter to the text chain. And they are discussing sensitive military information. Thus, we know that they did not intend for the messages to be public. Then it is okay to listen to what leaders say. Based on that introduction, you likely already know the context of what I am talking about. And while the public focus of the discussion surrounding that article has been about the Middle East and the proper handling of classified national security information, the whole brouhaha actually reveals quite a bit about what the White House thinks about Europe. So, today, let's put all of this into broader context. First, some quick backstory. And if you are wondering why this part of the video is necessary, it is because Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth says that nobody knows who the Houthis are. Well, people who watch a channel that makes jokes about drawing lines on maps likely have a good idea. But let's do this quickly just in case. Following the October 7th, 2023 Hamas attack on Israel, the Houthis, the de facto government inside of Yemen's capital, began a campaign of attacking merchant ships passing through the Red Sea. This became a major problem for international trade, because the target area is a choke point, and you have to go through there to make it to the Suez Canal, which eventually takes you to Europe. Without that, the West connection to Asia is pretty bad. Toward the end of 2023, the United States initiated Operation Prosperity Guardian to try to reopen freedom of navigation through the area. Fast forward to March 15th, 2025, and the United States began its largest series of strikes inside of Yemen, attempting to deliver a crippling blow to the group. You and I learned about this on March 15th, the day it happened. You and I are not Jeffrey Goldberg, a reporter at The Atlantic, who learned about the plans on March 11th. Nothing beats a headline that is a simple statement of what happened, and yet is completely bewildering. Don't ask how, but on that day, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, seen here with Secretary of State Marco Rubio during a Ukraine summit, accidentally added Goldberg to a group chat on Signal, a messaging app that policymakers commonly use for non-sensitive conversations, and something that is probably in the process of getting 1 billion new downloads right now. There are plenty of other publications discussing the national security concerns that surround this, so I do not want to rehash them here. Suffice it to say that Signal's enhanced security features are better than standard text messaging, but it is still not an appropriate place to discuss classified information. If, for example, Iran had intercepted the text chain, the 2-hour notice of final approval could have been relayed to Tehran's Houthi allies, giving them enough time to vacate areas that were likely targets of the very U.S. planes that you are watching take off. It also raises questions about what else the Trump administration discusses on Signal that China or Russia could be monitoring. Lest we forget that there is an ongoing war in Europe that the United States is actively trying to mediate, while simultaneously providing assistance to one side of it, or at least is sometimes providing assistance to one side of it. Instead, I want to focus on why the United States was conducting the whole operation at all. And the obvious answer would seem to point to what we discussed before. The Houthis were attacking shipping vessels, and the United States wanted to stop that. Well, not exactly. The Houthis were striking vessels, and quite a few of them, as you can see from this list. But the attacks had basically stopped in December of 2024. The official Houthi position was that they were retaliating to Israel's ongoing war in Gaza, and thus when Israel reached a ceasefire, they would also cease their strikes. Two problems with that timeline, though. One, the Gaza ceasefire came in January, weeks after the last Houthi attack on the Red Sea. And two, the strikes never came back despite the Gaza ceasefire faltering. Moreover, traffic running through the Bab el-Mandab Strait has basically stayed constant since then, at around 35 ships per day, a little under half of what normal transits would look like. In other words, the shipping industry was not buying the idea that the Houthis were done. Indeed, the Houthis retained strong incentives to attack as a means of driving attention to their organization, and, with that, recruitment and donations. Thus, perhaps the better interpretation of the events happening was that Operation Prosperity Guardian had successfully limited the Houthis' ability to conduct attacks, but that the underlying possibility and desire remained there. Anyway, that left open the question of why the United States was conducting the strikes now. Well, the text chain gives us the answers. And, actually, if you were confused about the timing, you were not alone. Vice President J.D. Vance said, "I think that we are making a mistake. There is a strong argument for delaying this a month." Hegseth agreed that waiting a few weeks or a month does not fundamentally change the calculus. However, the primary concern that won out was about losing the initiative, that Israel might take action first, or that the Gaza ceasefire could fall apart and encourage the Houthis to work harder to mount an attack, all while Iran looked on with glee. And that was the elephant in the text chain. There is a broader coercive bargaining relationship between the United States and Iran. If that turns into a hot conflict, the downside risk to the West depends on how much damage the Houthis can do around the Red Sea. Thus, if the United States completely incapacitates the Houthis, Tehran will find itself in a far weaker bargaining position. That is how Hegseth, Vance, and the others came to the conclusion to strike on March 15th. And that takes us to the situation with Europe. As you know, it is a mess right now. At the same time, though, we have discussed in many previous videos that the public hysteria does not quite match what is happening behind the scenes. Nor does it align with exactly how the Trump administration views the world. Remember, military spending is a public good from the perspective of Western countries, as they all have aligned goals, and they benefit from deterring other countries from trying to alter the status quo. The difference, of course, is that the Trump administration is perfectly happy to toss away diplomatic norms to reach their goals. Hence, tariffs everywhere, 51st states, something about Greenland, you get the idea. And we can see this in the text chain. For Hegseth, this is not about the Houthis. It is about restoring freedom of navigation, which is a core national interest. And he is fundamentally right about that part. If there is one consistent policy that the United States has maintained regarding the Western order post-World War II, it is freedom of navigation. And it is freedom of navigation, period. Not just freedom of navigation in some parts where the United States has the primary economic interest. In regard to this specific case, the administration understands that. They were willing to intervene despite how 3% of U.S. trade runs through the Suez Canal. 40% of European trade does. That was a quote from J.D. Vance from the text chain, by the way. Even if it is Europe that obtains the direct benefits of the Suez operating without interference, there are second-order consequences of lost trade worth thinking about. When ships have to take a longer route around Africa, it strains the supply of international shipping vessels, which raises prices globally. That includes U.S. consumers. If raw materials from Asia go to Europe so that Europe can produce input goods, and those input goods never make it to the United States, then U.S. businesses suddenly cannot produce their end products. If trade from Asia on a certain good becomes infeasible, then European consumers will look to import from elsewhere. That may help some U.S. businesses, but it also raises demand for products that U.S. consumers would otherwise buy, again raising prices for U.S. consumers. And we have not even touched on how this is in the middle of the oil capital of the world, creating a whole bunch of distortions to gas prices. The bottom line is that, even if Europe is the direct beneficiary of trade through the Suez Canal, the United States still suffers from captains rerouting traffic away from the area. The text chain discussed the possibility of passing the buck of the operation to Europe, but that was a non-starter. Many European countries are participating in Operation Prosperity Guardian, but no other country in the world can project power like the United States does. The United Kingdom and France could do something like the March 15th strikes, but a sustained period of operations like what seems to be forming is beyond their capacity. As a result, it makes sense to conduct a security environment where Europe is doing more on the European continent, which frees up resources for the United States to engage in naval power projection projects, like this one, and elsewhere. You may recall that this has been the main topic of discussion at NATO since Hegseth's comments in Brussels during the Defense Ministers Summit in February. China tends to be the central foe discussed in this context, but the logic applies to the Middle East as well. And it is a compelling argument. In some ways, it is the basis of Western prosperity more generally. We can all do the things that are easier for us, but also help each other. And we all end up way better off than what would be the case if we never coordinated, and we all did everything on our own. But the Trump administration's framing of this idea ranges from overly confrontational to downright counterproductive. J.D. Vance: I just hate bailing out Europe again. Pete Hegseth: I fully share your loathing of European freeloading. It's pathetic. All caps. SM on the text chain, presumably White House advisor Stephen Miller: if Europe doesn't remunerate, then what? If the U.S. successfully restores freedom of navigation at great cost, there needs to be some further economic gain extracted in return. These are not memes. These are their real, raw thoughts. So, in contrast to our usual mantra, maybe listen to what they are saying here. And where I have seen analysis of the text chain related to Europe, these comments have been the focus. The relationship is less like the family that NATO wants to build. There is a reason that these are called family portraits. And more like roommates that are forced to get along due to sheer proximity. Obviously, the reaction has been negative. I think it is worth noting here that if you ask some of Europe's more hawkish leaders in private, they will tell you that they understand the Trump administration's frustration, but they themselves are frustrated by how Trump has handled the situation. Basically, there is a recognition that Europe underfunded NATO for a long time, and only played insufficient catch-up during the Biden years, and only because Russia invaded Ukraine. In other words, in addition to blaming Trump, they blame Europe for foot-dragging, which created the Trump situation and all of the heated rhetoric that has come along with it. But even with that rhetoric, we should still watch what the Trump administration does. After all, there is a big difference between a Trump administration that talks trash about Europe, but ultimately still contributes, and a Trump administration that draws a giant line across the Atlantic. As for specific compensation, discussions about raising European defense spending as a non-quid pro quo, but in general, are politically feasible and happening. But if we are thinking about monetary remuneration, then again, we fall into a diplomatic black hole. If there is anything reassuring about this, though, it is that the Trump administration went ahead and took the costly action in trying to restore a public good, despite no ability to force Europe to directly pay for it. In happier times, you may have even seen Europeans praise the United States for stepping up to do it. Our takeaway, though, is that the Trump administration understands the United States' role in the global political order, and at least in this case, they were willing to follow through on it, at least as long as they could blame the need for the operation on Biden, because that was exactly their pitch on how to sell it to the MAGA base. Doing this on behalf of Europe seems like the Trump administration has gone soft on the continent, which is not a part of the brand. Thus, even if they wanted to do it, they still needed to figure out a way to politically justify it. But how long they will complain, yet still ultimately contribute into the future, is anyone's guess. So to answer today's question, what does the Trump administration think about Europe? The answer is free riders. That is not new information. But what is new information is that they think that Europe is a bunch of free riders who are still worth creating public goods for. In any case, if you enjoyed today's video, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.
Over on Earth 2, it is something called, actually, Liberation Day. But here in reality, on Earth 1, where all of us reside, it's more like playing a dangerous game of chicken with the American economy for no apparent reason. Brand new reporting reveals that Team Trump is prepping tariffs on potentially trillions of dollars worth of goods from all around the world, practically everything that comes into the United States. It's set to begin on April 2nd. From the Washington Post, quote, senior Trump advisors are now publicly pledging to create a new tariff regime that would impose new duties on trade with most countries that trade with the United States. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent described it this way. Listen.
What's going to happen on April 2nd, each country will receive a number that we believe that represents their tariffs. So for some countries, it could be quite low. For some countries, it could be quite high.
Okay. It's not really clear that he knows exactly what kind of information he's sharing, and it's certainly not clear to most Americans what that means. But economic experts are already sounding the alarm about it. One economist telling the Washington Post this, quote, the last 2 months have already hurt American businesses and consumers, but the April 2nd deadline seriously could make all of that look like a tempest in a teapot. And that is because the United States of America imports $3.2 trillion worth of goods every year. It's not clear what products from what countries will fall under the new tariff regime, but it is worth noting that the tariffs could touch practically every single thing that the American family buys. 97% of all the clothes and shoes sold in the U.S., 97% of all that is imported. A third of all the wine that I drink, I'm kidding, that we drink as a country is imported from abroad. Now, as for electronic devices, the CEO of Best Buy told reporters this, quote, there's very little in the consumer electronic space that is not imported. But according to Donald Trump, tariffs are good.
April 2nd is a liberating day for our country.
We're going to be getting back some of the wealth that very, very foolish presidents gave away. They had no clue what they were doing. And April 2nd, I would have made it April 1st, but you know what April 1st is? April Fool's Day.
Yep. So, politically speaking, the joke could end up being on him. Tariffs are deeply unpopular with everybody, certainly with all consumers. No partisan affiliation detected. 61% of Americans say they do not approve of Trump's handling of tariffs. Businesses don't like them either, not even farmers, who Trump claims he loves so much. New York Times reports this, quote, Donald Trump's actions have put U.S. farmers in a tough position. Most agricultural trade groups have opposed tariffs, albeit cautiously. The groups believe that the tariffs will raise prices for farmers, exporters, and consumers, and that retaliatory tariffs, like those that China imposed on farm products like chicken, pork, and soybeans, will harm their industries. And as much as Trump claims to want to support American manufacturing, major U.S. firms hate tariffs too. Once again, from the New York Times, quote, Boeing is the kind of manufacturer, one that exports billions of dollars of goods, that Trump says he wants to protect and nurture. But his tariffs could have the opposite effect on the company's suppliers. Trump has imposed a few tariffs so far, but he says more are coming in just a few weeks. Duties on aluminum and steel, two of the most important raw materials used in aircraft, are expected to raise manufacturing costs. But the industry is far more concerned by tariffs that take effect on goods from Canada and Mexico next month, which could disrupt the highly integrated North American supply chain. Whether the tariffs will actually go into effect, and if they do, on what scale they will be put on other countries, is, when it comes to Trump, always an open question, literally up to the moment when they are to be imposed. And that's given Team Trump's track record, again, just so far in the last 2 months on this issue, the on-again, off-again implementation of tariffs, the sudden reversals, the announcement by tweet that catches everyone by surprise. And that uncertainty in and of itself is also upsetting businesses.
It's hard when you're managing any business to not really know what you're going to be able to do in a month, 3 months, 12 months. It impacts hiring, it impacts purchasing, contracts, relationships that you have with suppliers.
There is unfortunately a huge amount of uncertainty right now that is affecting boardrooms and investors. If this level of uncertainty persists, it's really damaging the confidence and therefore to business investment, M&A, etc.
The uncertainty is what's killing us.
The collective impacts in the short run is people are pausing, they're pulling back. Talking to CEOs throughout the economy, I hear the economy is weakening as we speak.
The light's flashing red on the American economy thanks to Donald Trump's personal, seemingly arbitrary conduct. The tariff threats is where we start today. Anthony Scaramucci is here. He's a former Trump White House communications director, host of the Open Book podcast. Also joining us, former Republican Congressman, MSNBC political analyst David Jolly's here. And with me at the table, anchor and correspondent for Bloomberg News, David Gura is here. He's back. We never let you leave. Am I wrong that the instability is no longer about external events like COVID or things happening in other places? It is about the actions that Donald Trump is taking.
By and large, yes. And this looming date of April 2nd is something that's on the minds, as you heard there, of many CEOs and investors. They're wondering what's going to happen here. And I think a really open question is what happens after April 2nd. So we'll have this broad array of tariffs if the president is to be believed. On trillions of dollars with imports, if we agree with the reporting that we've seen there. What does that mean going forward? How does that policy stand to change? Will there be carve-outs like we saw during the first term? These are all unanswered questions. And then there's this issue of what effect is that going to have on the economy? So you laid out there what academicians say is likely to happen. We don't know how it's going to be in practice. And today we had the Federal Reserve announce it's going to keep interest rates where they are. And Jay Powell, the Fed chair, kind of towed this line of noting the fact that short-term inflation expectations are up. He's confident that when you look at medium-term, longer-term ones, you're not seeing that yet. But he's having to look at the economy today, which he characterizes as largely healthy, and have to kind of guess his way through or think what might happen as a result of these policies. That's kind of emblematic of what we're seeing, yes, among central bank policymakers like him, but heads of companies and regular folks as well.
Anthony, why is he doing this?
Well, I think he's an 18th century Prussian, so he's a colonialist. He wants to take over Canada and Greenland and the Panama Canal, and he's decided that tariffs are sort of an idea that predates the income tax. So just remember, that's a consumption tax for the American people. So said differently to our European friends, it's a VAT. So if he's going to put that in place and we're going to leave the income tax rates where they are, he's going to crush middle and lower middle income consumers, and so they'll stop spending. They'll have to, and he'll touch off a recession here in the United States and then a global recession around the world. So I don't know why they're doing that, because Scott Bessent and Howard Lutnick, they know better. His economic team, Kevin Hassett, knows better. I mean, they all know better. So, but he is adamant about this. He put a full page in the New York Times in 1987. And he thinks we're living 50 or 60 years ago without the integration that you described in your opening monologue. So that's what he's doing. No one's going to push him back on it unless the stock market pushes him back on it. And we've had, we're down about 8 or 9% on the market right now. The Fed chair, we rallied today because the Fed chair is saying he's got to cut rates as a result of the turmoil in the market.
Anthony, let me show you Brit Hume's just sort of seeming attempts to stop. I mean, the White House spokesgal has said that tariffs are not a tax. They're a tax cut. Brit Hume seemed intent on, at least among his audience, dispelling the disinformation about tariffs.
That's what tariffs are. They're taxes on goods that are being imported into this country or exported from it. And the tendency of tariffs in the short run in particular is to suppress economic activity. And of course, it also is to drive up prices, and that's how it suppresses economic activity. So it's something I think the administration has to worry about. Chances of higher prices, it seems to me, from tariffs is a legitimate concern.
So the truth of the tariffs so obvious. Even Fox News is broadcasting the truth on this matter. Say more about people like Mr. Bessent, who we've looked high and low. We can't find any instance where he advocated tariffs. I don't know Mr. Lutnick's public record as well, but I looked, searched, and couldn't find any speeches he'd given advocating tariffs. What makes people who are trusted in business come in and do things that they would never do to their own shareholders or their own businesses to the American people?
Well, Scott's last investment letter, I mean, it was maybe 2 investment letters ago, warned about the specter of tariffs. And he basically said that tariffs are a form of a consumption tax and it would slow down and potentially be ruinous to the economy. And so he's done a 180 on that now as Treasury Secretary. So you would be able to find that if you get Scott's investment letter. Howard, I know, was against tariffs until he was for them in the campaign, but they want those seats. They're prestigious seats. They want to walk in and out of the White House. Nicole, it doesn't reflect well on me, but I was there, okay? And I was, I got thankfully fired after 11 days, but I made the decision to do something that was against the grain. It was against my instincts because my ego was talking to me and my pride. And so these guys have Potomac fever. You know what Potomac fever is because you worked in Washington. And one of the bad things about Potomac fever, Nicole, is that one of the symptoms is you don't know that you have Potomac fever when you have it. So hopefully these guys will wake up from the fever and say, wow, this was a really big mistake for me and my family and a big mistake for my country. The president's going to keep pushing because he has this idea that this is going to bring manufacturing back to the U.S., but that is a thought long ago. He'd be way better doing what, frankly, President Biden did, which is tax incentives and a fiscal program to reshore manufacturing, bring back chips, bring back other manufacturing centers without putting this burden on the American consumer.
We're tracking one big clash with 2 storylines right now. The clash is the Trump administration on defense after the court setbacks for those weekend deportations, and then the extreme claims to wartime powers during peace. and the Chief Justice rebutting Trump in that rare move we saw yesterday. Conservative media warning the president that breaking court orders is just too far, that it's dangerous, while a Fox News legal expert is rejecting Trump's effort to defy the courts as untenable, writing in the conservative National Review. So, the first storyline is President Trump responding to that criticism and the legal setbacks and this growing controversy with a claimed deference. Trump disavowing any defiance of court orders and pledging not to defy them in the future in this new interview.
Wouldn't in the future.
No, you can't do that.
Now, that's Trump's storyline. You cannot do that. He will not be defying court orders, he says. So this is part one, and I'm going to tell you that in a sense that is a type of good thing. Low bar, but it reinforces how there are limits, there are consequences. That Trump knows it is bad to defy